Okay, fine. He likes Hamas. He watches their propaganda, but he's not going to deny the violent that took place. That is way beyond the pale.
And October 7, last year, Hamas committed horrific acts of sexual violence.
She goes, I wouldn't believe it unless it was firsthand. Here's a 17-year-old whose family was in front of her and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not going to fucking acknowledge what just happened?
I say to the women's rights organizations, to the human rights organizations, you've heard of Israeli women, horrible atrocities, sexual mutilation. Where the are you? I expect all civilized leaders, governments, nations to speak up against this atrocity.
Are you not upset that Denims just called this girl a liar about sexual violence straight to her face? That doesn't bother. What bothers you is that I called her a bitch, right? Not that she's believing women, right?
Carolyn Bryant Dunham, the white woman who accused Emmett Till of making advances towards her, has died. 14-year-old Emmett Till was kidnapped and brutally murdered by Bryant's then-husband and his half-brother in Mississippi in 1955 over the allegation. The two men were acquitted in his killing by an all-white jury, but later confessed in an interview.
You say you support women and you sit here and you giggle and laugh at this girl who was raped, and then immediately you say, I believe all women, and they say, oh, wasn't she lying? I have decreed, let it be known, that Denims is a dumb fucking bitch. I'm standing by every fucking syllable of that, okay?
Among them, at least 14 American citizens. Parents butchered using their bodies to try to protect their children. Stomach-turning reports of babies being killed. Entire families slain. Young people occurred while attending a musical festival to celebrate peace. To celebrate peace. Women assaulted, paraded as trophies. And thousands of wounded. Alive, but carrying with them the bullet holes and the shrapnel wounds and the memory of what they endured.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by viewers like you. Become a member today and unlock exclusive content at patreon.com/NorthstarRadio. In the post-Hassan Piker content nuke world, nothing has changed. Probably because all the information in the video has been beaten into the ground and debunked by Hassan himself countless times.
While obviously many of you are wondering, Hassan, are you going to be watching Ethan's content nuke? The answer is, of course not. From what I understand, the reviews are not great. Turns out when you're not particularly smart or particularly knowledgeable about politics and you try to do a political takedown, people are going to look at it and say, yeah, you're kind of stupid.
And because nothing has changed, Ethan has continued talking about Hassan and has even ramped up the rhetoric quite a bit, continuing to go after both Hassan and other leftist streamers, specifically the biggest female political Twitch streamer on the internet, Denims.
Somebody that laughs in the face of other victims and immediately calls them liars, that's a bitch of a person.
Now, Ethan is infamous for the countless times he has spoken about Muslim Arabs.
I do, on the other hand, acknowledge that, like, I think per capita, there's definitely some strong thread of violence through the Muslim community, or Arab Muslims, to be more specific. You told me once you went on, like, a mission with them to, like, a terrorist city.
He also has quite an extensive history of misogyny.
So there's definitely something, like, in us to, like, conquer. Men want to, like,
right.
So it's, you know, women are in a nature setting, like, to be conquered.
So when you combine these two bigotries, you foster a visceral hatred for people like Denims, a Muslim Moroccan woman.
First of all, she's a fucking bitch. Shame on you. How dare you? You say you fucking support women and you sit here and you fucking giggle and laugh
So I have successfully baited the Zionist propagandist Ethan Klein into dedicating an entire segment, like a 30-minute long segment of his ridiculous podcast, to just complaining about me. I'm not exactly sure what his podcast is actually about, because everything that I've ever seen about it is just him complaining about what people say about him on social media. It's nothing but that. Like, he has like what? A dozen, 24 employees of this podcast, and the whole thing is just like totally dedicated to Ethan Klein, like searching for himself on social media and complaining for like 4 hours straight about what people say about him. What a great subject for a podcast, really. But the context of this is that I have been refuting Ethan Klein's disgusting pro-Israel, pro-Palestinian genocide arguments 4 or 5 months now, and he has specifically avoided mentioning me, like I was the fucking devil for him. He would even censor my name out of his podcast when other people said it in clips that he was watching, because he knows that he does not have any chance of coming out looking like anything but a disgusting bumblefuck genocide propagandist moron if his audience has to actually see what I have to say about the facts and the arguments, and particularly the fact that I have literally refuted every single disgusting lie that has ever come out of his mouth in a way that he has no way possible chance of ever responding to. So Ethan specifically avoids debating me or other people who also know about the topic, who have challenged him, like Hassan Piker, for example, because he is particularly afraid of being confronted on this in a live environment where his claims can be scrutinized and he can be held to account for them in real time before a live audience. He constantly challenges other people to a debate, like people aren't even creators, like he invites random Reddit commenters onto his stream to have a debate. And by the way that he debates is he has like a podcast and he has like 10 sycophantic, pathetic loser crew members who he pays, and all of them like furiously spend the whole time asking questions to ChatGPT to feed Ethan talking points. So it's not even like you're debating Ethan Klein, it's like you're debating a bunch of fucking morons desperately asking ChatGPT for how to justify genocide of all Palestinians, please help me, and then sending like the answer to Ethan Klein, and Ethan looks at his laptop and he's like, oh, but what about this thing that they all just sent me? It's fucking pathetic. But the thing is, I would happily debate Ethan Klein, even with those sycophants there, even with like 10 different fucking people all furiously Googling and ChatGPTing for him the whole time, because I'm right and he's wrong. And the generic Zionist talking points that he will get fed from his crew are stuff that I've already dealt with 1,000 times before when Ethan and others have said them. I have no problem with that. So Ethan, stop being a fucking pussy little bitch and debate live. I'll debate you and your 10 staff members, no problem, all at once, 1 on 10, no issue. I'm right, you're wrong, you know it. That's why you avoid me and what I actually say. And it's pathetic because what got him to finally address me was not the multiple debate challenges that I've made to him, not the multiple videos that I have made, utterly destroying every single talking point that he's ever made to defend the disgusting Israeli genocidal state. No. It was the one thing that I said specifically to bait him that I was fairly sure that he would get baited by, and that he actually did. Because you see, me saying, Ethan, you're a pussy, you won't debate me, over and over, didn't work. But what did work is saying that he is a meek little bitch who is being pushed into being more and more of a genocidal Zionist by his wife, because ultimately he's a pathetic wife guy who got honeypotted by the IDF on birthright, and he will never stand up to her even slightly. He will alter his opinions to whatever she wants them to be. And that's what's going on here. So I brought that up, and that is what finally baited him. And the funny thing is, like, I posted this in an Instagram story. I don't even have followers on Instagram. My Instagram stories get like 1,000 views, and somehow Ethan Klein saw them. So once I noticed that Ethan Klein was finally acknowledging me, that he was finally responding to me, you know, he wasn't actually responding to the substance or anything, the things that actually matter, like the facts, the evidence, all the shit that he has lied about to justify genocide, but he instead responded to me like calling me ugly. That was it. He called me ugly because I said that he's a meek little bitch who is controlled by his wife. And once I saw that, I knew that I had him by the balls. I knew that I could get him to do whatever I want. I could make him dance my jig however I wanted to. Because this guy is the most fragile, porcelain, insecure person I have ever seen in my life. Anyone who says anything negative about him, unless it's of course an argument based on facts and evidence, he simply cannot not respond. So I followed it up. And the reason why I followed it up was 2 things. One, I wanted to bait him into accidentally acknowledging the video where he touches himself to a victim of a terrorist attack who he calls a juvenile who was 17 years old at the time of the terrorist attack. I'm not going to play the video here, but it will be linked in the comments down below, in the pinned comment down below if you want to look at it. I've gone over over it before on my stream numerous times. I wanted to force him to bring up that video on his stream, either accidentally or sort of feeling like he had to address it because I talked about it, and he ended up bringing it up. So now potentially some of his audience knows of the existence of this disgusting video and how it disproves his ludicrous narrative that he is against terrorism and he's like especially like an advocate for victims of rape, when he himself fantasized about raping a victim of terrorism while touching himself while Ethan Klein filmed him. Secondly, I just wanted to create the ground for him to get so flustered, so angered, that he might finally agree to this debate with me. Of course, I don't think he's going to, but hey, you never know. You know, this guy's on the point of breaking, and perhaps debating me or even Hassan could be like his last gasp before he finally needs to get put in an insane asylum, because he's literally just obsessed with social media criticism. Like, the guy does not do anything anyway. Like, his show is nothing but talking about people saying bad things about him on social media. People don't like him on social media. People criticize him on social media. He doesn't actually have a main channel or anything that people are criticizing. No, he has a podcast where he does nothing but complain about being criticized on social media. Then people criticize him for what he says about that. And then he has another podcast episode after that where he just talks about what people said about his last podcast, complaining about people criticizing him on social media. What in the holy fuck sort of content is that? It's no wonder that his average views have fallen from 20 million a month a year ago to 10 million a month this year. The ship is sinking. He's going to go bankrupt soon. But anyway, it's time to watch Ethan Klein's whole entire segment on Bad Empanada on the H3H3 podcast. And I have to say, if you dedicate an entire segment of your supposedly serious podcast to like going over Bad Empanada Instagram stories, you might just be spiraling into the abyss. You might just be the lowest point of your life. I just want to note as well that context for this that is very important is that Ethan Klein on his podcast outright openly acknowledged that he lets his dogs shit all over his mansion and he just leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons. So I would assume he doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something. But they contracted a parasite that I had previously never heard of in my life called Giardia from the dog shit that is all over his house. So I made fun of him for that. And that's important context because I refer to that a number of times in the stories that Ethan Klein goes over. And I want to note first that Ethan Klein skipped over the first few stories that I made, because initially I posted 2 stories challenging him to a debate. And then I posted a 3rd story where I just like went for the jugular and said that he's a meek little bitch who's controlled by Gila, who's a terrorist, by the way. And on his podcast, he skipped over those 2 and went straight to the 3rd one, because he wants to fucking avoid the debate challenge. He's a fucking meek, cowardly little bitch who knows that if he actually has to address the facts and the arguments, he will get destroyed. And that's why he specifically avoids me and others. That's why he's talking about like, oh, Bad Empanada is an international criminal. Like, he literally says that I'm wanted in multiple countries in this clip, by the way. He will make up fucking anything to avoid addressing the facts and the evidence. It's literally just ad hominems all the way down. So let's check this out. Regarding Bad Empanada's recent stories. By the way, I never post Instagram stories. The only reason I posted them is because Ethan Klein only communicates through fucking Instagram stories. Like, he's afraid to use a medium where people can actually respond to him directly, like Twitter, for example, or something like that. So he only posts on Instagram stories where people can't respond. So I decided, hey, if that's how you get to Ethan, I'm going to use his favorite little medium, and it fucking worked. Anyway, let's check this out.
This is stuff he tweeted out today. This is from yesterday. Ethan's a meek little bitch, and everything he says and does is because he's terrified of his wife leaving him and is desperate to stay in line with her whims. She's the only woman to ever pretend to like him, and it's just pathetically obvious what's going on. And by the way, this was posted on Hassan subreddit. I mean, we've been...
Huge W, Hassan subreddit.
And we have 3 kids.
No one has ever been known to have kids with a meek little bitch for reasons aside from love.
By the way, he looks like this.
You ever notice how Ethan Klein always seems to like try to make people look more Muslim or more Arab? You ever notice that? Like, he went and found a picture from 2019 of me with like the longer beard. Like, he had to go like back quite far to find this picture. And I think that's pretty interesting. Like, he seems to associate like a longer beard with being negative. And I think we all know the reason for that. It's his hatred of Arabs. But like, his response to that is like, by the way, he looks like this. Ethan, you will just do anything to avoid actually addressing the points, won't you? You will just do anything to avoid debating people. Like, oh, but you're ugly. Like, what the fuck kind of a response is that? Are you a child, Ethan? Well, yeah, you are. You're 40 years old. By the way, I don't understand how Ethan's like considered like a funny guy, like a comedian. I'm not a comedian or a funny guy, but I'm funnier than him, like 1,000 times funnier than him. He doesn't make jokes. He's not funny. He's not witty. He's not smart. He's not quick-witted. The only times that I've ever seen Ethan Klein trying to be funny, it's like he thinks that just like saying something that you're not supposed to say is humor. That's why he's been doing Nazi salutes lately, because like just doing something that you're not supposed to do, except ironically, that's the epitome of humor to him. That's also why he made numerous videos where he disgustingly lusted over teenagers, because pedophilia. You're not supposed to be a pedophile, aren't you? That's funny, isn't it? That's all of his humor. He's just not funny at all. Anyway, so let's see what else he has to say aside from you're ugly, which coming from him doesn't really fucking mean much. I mean, Jesus, dude, come on.
I don't even need
Why is he always like sniffling, coughing? Like, can you imagine being on a date with Ethan Klein and trying to hold a conversation, and like 40 out of 60 seconds, he's just sniveling and coughing the whole fucking time?
Say a damn word.
Let's just say that there's a reason why he's desperate to cling on to the Zionist terrorist wife that he's got now.
She's the only woman to ever pretend to like him, and it's pathetic. Just take that in, guys. No comment.
It is.
Ethan's a meek little bitch. He's terrified of his wife leaving him.
He is.
This guy said right here.
He's even zooming in on the beard. Isn't that an Islamic beard? That's a pretty Arab beard, isn't it, Ethan? Perhaps it's even Hasidic, you could say. Could this guy for 2 seconds not make it clear what the whole game is?
Just take it all in, folks.
That's so scary. Let's take you in, Ethan. Let's just take you in. I would like to see you attempt to hold a conversation with anyone, man, woman, anyone, who does not already know who you are, and hold their attention for more than like 10 seconds, let's say. I think they would walk out of the room after you spend the entire first 10 seconds coughing and sniveling.
Just take it all in.
This guy's a 40-year-old man, and his way of arguing is to like play funny soundboard noises and call you ugly. All of this to avoid having to deal with the actual point, which is he is a genocidal Israeli propagandist.
Holy bananas.
Holy bananas.
Holy macaroni.
You got anything to say, Ethan, about the fact that I have refuted every single little thing that you say and proven that your wife is a terrorist? Anything to say about that, Ethan?
Wow.
Your wife is a terrorist.
Wow.
I know how to get to him. I know how to get to him. Returning to her herd, back to her family. She's finally returned to where she came from. Spitting image right there. Look at that. Separated at birth.
This was a shout out to the subreddit. Love them.
Wow.
Hassan said, if you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm...
Okay, so this is like an edited, funny screenshot of Hassan. Very funny. I mean, when they try to be funny, it's even worse.
Khaleesi, and like her, I happen to have a few dragons. For better or worse, but usually for better, because my dragons also protect those I fight for.
It's not funny to read in a funny voice something that someone else never said, Ethan. And this isn't even funny in the first, like, it's just not funny. You're not funny. Nothing about you or your fans is funny. All of you are just deeply unfunny people, and I don't understand how you pertain to be a comedian.
So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. Who are his dragons? Bad Empanada, Mike from...
Whoa, this is so, dude, this is so funny. Everyone's laughing.
Fierce warriors.
Who are Ethan Klein's dragons? No one. No one likes him. Everyone fucking hates him.
Well, and then Bad Empanada today was threatening me in real life. He was saying he was on a plane coming to get me.
Oh, please show us. Show us. Oh my God, the snivels. Listen to this fucking guy. How do you listen to this shit?
Frankly,
Oh, yeah, so I think Bana Epinata must have seen this clip, and this is what tipped him off.
Ethan, it's pretty pathetic that you think that I would be interested in you.
Where does he actually talk about the rest of it? Hold on, I'm trying to get to him talking about my stories or whatever. So let's check out the Instagram story that he claims is a threat against him, a threat of violence. Someone called the police immediately.
I think we've been over all this, haven't we? This is all old stuff.
Yeah, it was just to, it was to correct the record on that.
Here's Bad Empanada from today. Let's see. I'll read these in order, I guess. 40-year-old man skips over the multiple debate challenges.
Yes, exactly. You skipped over multiple debate challenges to just say, I'm your ugly.
Whatever, I don't care about this one.
Then he says, no, whatever, I don't care about this one. After he notes what was said after that. What was said after that, Ethan?
Yeah.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew without them realizing that Ethan would not want to see me acknowledging that he was skipping over my debate challenges to just post "I'm your ugly," and he definitely would not want to acknowledge the fact that him letting his dogs just leave shit all over his house caused his children to get an obscure parasite that I had never heard of until his kids got it. Incredible. Amazing.
I'll read these in order, I guess. 40-year-old man skips over the multiple debate challenges. Whatever, I don't care about this one. He says, stand back and stand by. He's showing a flight to California. Which, I mean, not that I take him seriously, but because I know if he ever left Argentina, which is where the Nazis took cover,
the Nazis took cover in the United States of America, where you are actually. And they're currently taking cover there today as well. Because the Nazis are people like Ethan Klein, the IDF genocidal veterans. There's only a few places in the world where they can get off safe, and one of them is the United States of America.
I think he would be arrested if he ever set foot in America. Like, this guy is actually...
For what?
A psychopath, a wanted, likely...
Wanted? For what exactly, Ethan? Could you be more specific so that we can sue you? Please.
I know there's people lined up to get to this guy.
Ooh, who's lined up to get to me, Ethan? I have a whole video on that. It's literal fascist Zionists, like people who post dead Palestinian babies to their Telegram groups celebrating it, Ethan Klein. Those are the people who are trying to get to me, Ethan Klein. It does not surprise me at all that you're on their side. I have a whole video about it. Let me show you guys. This video right here, fascists tried to murder me, now a YouTuber's helping them. Check it out. It goes over all of that whole saga of far-right genocidal Zionist fascists who celebrate the mass murder of Palestinian babies, trying to dox me and trying to defame me so that people would go to my house and kill me. Check it out. Those are the people that Ethan Klein is citing here.
Here he is on a plane. Again, I don't...
Here he is on a plane. Ethan Klein, were you born fucking yesterday? Do you think the stock image of a plane over a sign of California was a real plane? Do you think I'm actually on a plane, Ethan? Ethan, aren't you like a comedian? Don't you do funny jokes? Aren't you a funny man? Is there a reason why you don't know what a joke is, Ethan Klein? Why you take everything so serious all the time, or you pretend to take it serious? So that's what this guy is. Ethan Klein is like the first white man to ever successfully weaponize a white woman's tears. This guy wants to speak to the manager, and he wants to speak to her right fucking now. And he's sending his fucking lawyers after fucking Reddit and shit to speak to the manager. Does it not get old having to pretend to be outraged all the time? Oh my God, he's threatening me. He's on a plane. He's coming to get me. And you say that 100% seriously as if you believe it, because you are just such a pathetic, meek little bitch that you know on any other basis aside from just pretending to be outraged by obvious fucking jokes, like a fucking stock photo of a plane. Like if you had to address the facts, you had to address everything that we have all said about you with exhaustive evidence and that we have debunked the things that you've said, your career would be fucking over. I mean, that you even have a career still is debatable, but you know what I mean. So instead it's, oh my God, he's threatening my life. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Fucking moron.
I don't even think this is his photo, but I think he's threatening me, right?
He's threatening you. We'll be right back. What? Was that like something that you couldn't show? He's threatening me. He's threatening me. I'm in serious danger here. I'm being threatened because I was tagged in a random Google image of a plane fuselage. I gotta say, Ethan has mastered like the Zionist fake victimization shit in record time. What a legend. What is this? You people watch this shit? Unbelievable.
So anyway, he's threatening me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to interpret that.
Yeah, he's 100%. Yeah, dude, you're 100% being threatened.
Clearly unhinged behavior, right?
Clearly unhinged behavior.
This is not normal stuff here.
You are someone who touched yourself on camera to a victim of a terrorist attack who was 17 years old at the time of the attack. You called her a juvenile and talked about how much you wanted to fuck her juvenile pussy and rape her mouth. I just want to reiterate that. Ethan, please sue me. I will submit myself to any jurisdiction that you want. I'll do anything that's needed. Like I'll travel, I'll open bank account somewhere. I'll even try to get residency, like wherever you want to sue me, just so that I can have a moment in court where I play that video. Please, Ethan, sue me.
If you want to criticize my videos, do that. But like, why are you threatening me?
We criticize your videos. You ignored it. And you're thinking this is threats? Oh my fucking God. You do nothing but like go after Hassan Piker's personal life in the most fucking mentally unwell ways possible, dude. How can you possibly complain about this? It's a fucking stock photo. Hey, Tree Productions, stand back and stand by. You're pretending to take that seriously and be threatened
Real life.
by it.
And then Hassan continually promotes this guy. And Snarkers and FOMOA and all these people are continually lifting this guy.
You should take him to court and be like, you know, Ethan Klein versus Hassan Piker. He promoted a YouTuber.
Up like he's some great voice in the community. It's actually really
because
something.
I fucking refuted everything that you ever said and you're ignoring it completely to instead act like this is serious.
Hello, I'd like to report a case of serious child
Oh my God, I got him to read about what he did to his kids.
neglect and endangerment. These kids are literally crawling through feces and contracting all sorts of disease. And worst of all, they're being raised by Zionists.
Oh, yes. I got him to acknowledge the parasites. And it gets better from here, don't worry.
Again, the continual going after my family is really fucking...
This is not going after your family. This is going after something that you factually said on your stream, which is that you left dog shit all over your house and your kids contracted giardia from it, which is I'd never heard of before. I didn't know that existed until you, a millionaire with all the resources in the world, somehow are so dirty and disgusting that you gave your kids a previously unknown parasite. This is not going after your family. This is acknowledging something that you factually said in your fucking podcast. Your kids are in danger because of you. And just to know, Ethan Klein clearly lacks object permanence here because the whole fucking, this like chain of Instagram stories, if you can follow along with like basic logic, there's the picture of the plane in California, then the picture of me supposedly inside the plane, and the picture of the Beverly Hills Police Department with like me saying, oh, hello, I'd like to report blah, 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 all of this stuff. The narrative here was clearly that I flew to California to report you to the police for serious child endangerment and for, as we'll see in the next story, sexual harassment of a terrorism victim.
Weird. What is over your head, AB?
Oh, I found
By the way, this is Ethan Klein recently has been speculating like about Hassan's own like sort of family love life stuff. Like he tried to frame Hassan's mother as like an illegal Mexican immigrant, and he's been like speculating about whether Hassan had like if Hassan has a girlfriend or something, like trying to like name and shame his supposed girlfriend as if that would fucking matter, because Ethan Klein like doesn't understand that some other people aren't liked for their personal life. Like they aren't, you know, people don't parasocially follow along with their own little personal family stuff like the fucking Kardashians or something. So if Hassan decides to like keep his personal life separate, like not tell people who his girlfriend is and stuff like that, and they don't talk about this stuff, dude, they are way better adjusted than you are. That's not fucking normal. Like you made your family a part of your branding and your show. If you had not become rich off your shitty, unfunny comedy channel from 10 years ago, your IDF honeypot wife would have left you then and there. She's been completely intertwined with your content the whole fucking time. All your family stuff has been the whole time. You make it about your family. No one else does. On the flip side, when you deal with people who don't make this about their personal lives like Hassan, you try to make it about their personal lives desperately. These things aren't the same. You know, Hassan's not talking about whether or not he has a girlfriend on his stream. Hassan's not speculating about who his girlfriend is on his stream. You are. And I'm not talking about anything regarding your family that you have not said in your content yourself. Like them contracting parasites from fucking dog shit that you leave everywhere.
Oh, the MAGA hat. I only saw the top of it.
I was going to say, I thought
we had two of them.
I thought Hassan had his own, but you're right.
Yeah, no.
I found only one of these and two of these. So
I'll be honest. I remember he's like, "Can I have this?" And at the time, I was like, "I don't."
What is
I
this?
was like,
Why
no.
are they interrupting my segment with this shit?
Okay, you're on. But I didn't have the heart to say that, so I let him take it. I should have told him no. Once again, Hassan. I think just yesterday was watching some of his videos. So this is the guy, I mean, I showed them the video of Ethan touching.
Oh my God, this is the best part. I successfully baited him into acknowledging to his audience that the video of him touching himself to a 17-year-old terrorism victim that was filmed by Ethan Klein, I got him to acknowledge that it exists. I baited him into acknowledging this. This was better than I could have even hoped. I would have thought that his crew would have been confident enough to scrub this part from the list of stories, and here they got him to read it on stream. Like Ethan Klein, by the way, he's so lazy, he clearly does not even make his own stream content. The crew does it for him, and then he just reads this without having reviewed it previously. You can tell from this. He never would have ended up reading this off of his own volition. But here, I got him to acknowledge the existence of the video.
Himself to a 17-year-old terrorist victim. And now they're on their way to check this hard drive. What the fuck?
So you see, that was the joke of the plane stories, like that I was flying to California to report Ethan for all of the shit that he refuses to acknowledge. I mean, aside from, for some reason, he bizarrely acknowledged giving his children Giardia. Aside from that, that was the joke here. And he's like, he's threatening me to fly over, and he's gonna get me. Oh my God, dude. What's up? Like the fake outrage is so funny.
The actual fuck.
What the actual fuck? That's just me acknowledging something that you actually did in a video, Ethan.
People are lined up to sue this guy for defamation, by the way. Like,
who is?
Actually lined up.
Who's lined up to sue me for defamation? Ethan, would you like to sue me for defamation? For that specifically? If you do, I promise you I will do whatever it takes to become like a legal person in the jurisdiction that you'd like to sue me in. Choose any. United States, no problem, no issue. If it's needed, and if there's a problem with the jurisdiction, like, I said this when I was in a different jurisdiction, so I need to say it again. I'll say it again, just to make sure that you can sue me after I'm in the US or some other country where you'd like to sue me. And then you can sue me, and we can go over in court whether or not that statement is fundamentally true. Whether or not what I said there about you touching yourself to a 17-year-old terrorist victim is true or not. Because then we can just play the video in court, and I'd really like to see what would happen after that. If you're too much of a pussy to actually go through real litigation, we can set up like an independent arbitration tribunal or something between us. We can film it all, upload it all. It'd be great content. I would love for you to do that, Ethan. I would fucking love to have my fucking Better Call Saul moment just playing that video and resting my case. Please, Ethan, please line up and sue me for defamation, dude. People are lining up to sue Bad Empire for defamation. Who exactly? It certainly doesn't seem to be you. You seem too much of a fucking pussy to go after me because you know that everything that I've said about you is fundamentally true. This is just him complaining about me saying that his views have dropped, by the way. Like, he cares about he addresses everything except the multiple videos that I've made destroying his points. Like, I've made like 20 videos refuting him on the actual facts regarding Israel and Palestine. The vast majority of my content is not responding to him personally. It's responding to lies that he told to justify genocide, to justify Israel. He never responds to that, particularly this one, Content Star Bomb by Ethan Klein, where I destroy meticulously every single claim that he made in his supposed content nuke on Hassan Piker. He addresses nothing of any substance. He just sits there talking about stock images of a plane over a fucking California road sign. He pretends to be outraged about that, as if I haven't systemically refuted every single little bullshit Israeli propaganda claim that he has ever made. He avoids addressing the real issues that actually matter, the things that people should actually care about. To instead, he only seems to care about personal attacks. I don't know. Like, his ego is so fragile. He's so insecure that all that he cares about is like people calling him names or whatever, like throwing insults his way, and not the actual issues. It's so pathetic, dude. Like, if I called him ugly, he wouldn't have been able to gloss over it, like, and just be like, okay, whatever, as I did. He would go on like a 20-minute long tangent complaining about it. That's the kind of guy that he is. The most insecure, meek little bitch in the world.
In just 1 year, the monthly views of the H3 podcast have more than half.
You can't be this much of an insecure little weakling and also claim to be like a epic, edgy comedian. Those two things don't work. You're like the opposite of what you pretend to be. I am to you what you think you are to Hassan Piker.
From 20 million to less than 10 million? Well, that can't be true. When were we over at 20
It's
million?
obviously true if you just scroll down to the graphic that shows it.
He said in the last year.
Oh. Yeah, I don't...
We've been around 10 million pretty much for like a few years, which is completely
Scroll
good
down
and
to the
fine for me. I
chart.
love that.
It shows
My two channels run by one single person gets 2 million views a month combined.
Yeah, I mean, I get 1/5 of your views with what? Like 1/12 of the personnel? That's fucking pathetic, dude. And I'm like a really niche YouTuber as well. Like my content is really unapproachable and boring. So that's like another element to it. It's not even like fun, approachable content that's like algorithmically good. It's like really boring PowerPoint style video essays. How the fuck am I getting like a fifth of the views of your whole podcast with like a real production crew? What are you doing?
There's no way these losers are making enough to sustain 20. I don't have 20 employees.
How many do you have?
With just 9 million. Wait, 9 million.
What, there's like 8 to 10 at least on the crew. How much more in the like on who actually show up in the podcast? I imagine there's a lot more in the background as well. And then you also have like your housekeepers and nannies and stuff, because you certainly don't do any housework yourself. You certainly don't raise your own kids. So how many do you have? I'd say 20 is probably an underestimate.
What? Views? Oh, views. Bankruptcy incoming. All right. I mean, stand by. Stand back and stand by.
I am. We're all waiting for it.
Wait, posted the stats for us.
Oh, we had actually 26 million views August of 2023.
26 million views. And
by the way, we came off break in January, which is the views always drop here in January because we take like a whole 3 weeks off. I think we took 3 weeks off. But I'm not worried. I mean,
look at the chart. Look at the chart. This is, by the way, this is such a non-point. Like, this is not important at all. Okay? I want to know. This is not what I care about. I want him to address me directly live. Let's debate Israel-Palestine, the shit that you said about it. Let's debate that. You can have your guys fact-checking me on ChatGPT or whatever the whole time. I don't mind. I've dealt with their generic Zionist talking points and that it'll feed you a million times before. Stop being such a meek, cowardly little bitch, Ethan, and deal with the substance of the lies that you have told to justify genocide. Accountability is approaching you, and you're still avoiding it, aren't you? This is what people actually care about, the issues. They don't give a shit about your views. They don't give a shit about whether your wife controls you or not. And honestly, we don't give a shit about the dog shit all over your floor and your children contracting parasites from it. And it's so weird that you bring that up anyway. The reason why we are talking about you is because you do genocide propaganda, and we want to refute it because you are leading people into supporting genocide. That's it. So how about you talk to me about that, you fucking cowardly bitch? Instead of this, like, who cares about this? Why would you even respond to this? But it's still factually true. Like, if you look at the chart, May 2022, from May 2022, they had on average like more than 20 million views per month. Since then, look at this line going down. Now it's below 10 million per month. Truly pathetic. It's consistently down as well. And do you think that's related to the fact that, I don't know what your podcast was before, it can't get any good though, like you're not funny. What do? Do you talk about like a Minecraft YouTuber drama? Nothing of substance, that's for sure. Like, it degenerated even from the useless bullshit that it already was into just you complaining about people criticizing you on social media. So that's probably why you're down like to half the views you used to get, you dumb fuck.
We came off break in January, which is the views always drop here in January because we take like a whole 3 weeks off.
I mean,
3 weeks off.
look at the pattern.
But I'm not worried. I mean, I think the channel's doing great. I don't know what this even is.
It's like a random story that has nothing to do with it.
But yeah, this is Bad Empanada, who's being promoted and elevated by people like that mod, who's the poor victim.
Wow, what exactly about those Instagram stories should make it like unacceptable for them to promote me or cite me or anything? Why? What about that? There's literally nothing wrong there. All that is there is you getting fucking baited and pretending to be outraged at someone coming at you with the same energy that you come at others, except I'm actually right here and you're wrong.
That moderator is allowing a post celebrating him.
Oh, you poor little fucking baby. Someone's posting about you on Reddit. You poor fucking baby.
To hit this.
Why don't you sue him for it, dude? Just fucking sue him. I'm suing this Reddit moderator. I want to see a lawsuit where he complains about like a Reddit moderator allowing Bad Empanada posts to exist.
main pages of Reddit. By the
If you go over Bad Empanada Instagram stories for like, what was this, like a 15, 20 minute long segment on your stream, you were at the lowest point of your life and you desperately need help.
Wait, don't take my word for it. Just listen to Hassan talking about, what, you have that?
About what? Sorry?
Hassan talking about Bad Empanada a year ago.
Oh, here, yeah.
Before.
Let's check it out.
During our breakup, Bad Empanada being just a virulent anti-Semitic freak. Obviously,
That's all that he knows how to do is just scream anti-Semitism. He learned it recently. Fucking moron.
took Hassan's side and started glazing him. So,
You think I took Hassan's side? I didn't take Hassan's side. I took the side of Palestine because you're spreading disgusting pro-Israel propaganda that I already debunked a million times before. And I've actually specifically recently been focusing on liberal Zionism, which is way worse than far-right Zionism because it tries to hide its disgusting ethno-nationalist fascism behind this veneer of humanity and like care for Palestinians. And you were a great example of that. Like you went on a fucking spree just posting the most disgusting pro-Israel liberal Zionist propaganda imaginable. And in you, I saw an incredible opportunity to expose liberal Zionism using you as an example of it. Because you just spout the talking points that they all do. So I just refuted your talking points. And I used you as like an example to tackle a much bigger and much more important issue. Because you're basically like an NPC bot that just spouts generic liberal Zionist talking points that were fed to you by ChatGPT. That is why I supposedly took Hassan's side here. This was a personal feud between you and Hassan Piker. I would not care at all. I would not have spoken about this at all. The reason why I care about it is because you are doing fucking pro-Israel genocide propaganda against the Palestinian people. That's why. Anyone who cares even remotely as much about these dumb, idiotic, personal internet creative feuds as they do the actual issues at hand is a total moron. I've criticized Hassan Piker plenty of times in the past, and I will in the future as well. But in this case, he's on the right side of the issue, and that's why I agree with him. It's also why he agrees with me. And Ethan Klein, who does not know how to do anything but ad hominem, all that he can do is, previously Hassan had like a feud with Bad Empanada because Bad Empanada said that Hassan doesn't engage with his React content enough to qualify as fair use, because that's what the actual feud with Hassan was about. That's why Hassan didn't like to watch my videos on stream. So me and him disagreed on a different issue, but we agree on this issue. Thus, Hassan started watching some of my videos that had something to do with this issue, which is you doing pro-Israel propaganda and people who you invite onto your stream like Lonerbox also doing pro-Israel propaganda. It's fucking pathetic that you understand everything through little more than the lens of, but didn't this guy dislike this guy before? Maybe he still dislikes me. Maybe he does, but maybe he also thinks that I'm right on this and that's what fucking matters. Like I actually have a video, this one right here from last year, where I agreed with Ethan on something because he was laughing at Vosh for his ridiculous showing his lolly collection on stream. And I like went over what Ethan Klein said here, and I said, you know, even the dumbest guy in the world understands that what Vosh did here is wrong and that it's obviously pedophilia. I've also agreed with Vosh on many things, particularly in regards to Israel-Palestine. You see, because I don't understand things just in this vein of like, this, I don't like this person, therefore I have to disagree with everything they ever say forever. But Ethan Klein does. Because ultimately, Ethan Klein's opinions aren't dictated by any sort of real assessment of the evidence or the facts or him actually caring about the issues. They're dictated by what will keep me in the good graces with the only woman to ever pretend to like me. That's all.
Imagine being... Which one are you highlighting here? Dan, did you highlight something?
No, I'm grabbing it right now. 1 second.
So imagine changing your opinion this much from 1 year about somebody, right, to now being like, actually, you should all go watch his videos, okay? Tell me, how does that happen? Stand back and stand by as I pull this up. You got
oh my god, this is unwatchable, dude. How do you people watch this? They don't even have this shit ready. Like this production, you just sit here listening to him sniveling and coughing for a minute while they bring it up.
In the meantime, here Hassan wine.
This is the same as like watching my stream, where I like spend like 5 minutes just like trying to find the thing that I wanted to talk about, as I say nothing. Except I don't have like I don't claim to be a good streamer like a podcaster. I don't have 10 crew members.
So yeah, he went on.
He didn't watch the clip from Sex Pest and he's ready with it.
He's been going on and on about the content, but still refusing to watch it.
Edited out you showing the context of them, settlers as extremists destroying 80%.
Where is the video? He just moved on to something else. He's not even talking about Hassan supposedly shitting on me anymore. Hassan's bizarre flip-flopping on bad empanadas. Apparently on multiple empanadas now. It took him like 10 minutes to get to this, dude.
In fact. So anyway, back to the clip I was looking for.
Let's check it out. It's still not ready. It's still not ready. Oh my god, this is such a shit show. This is the decline of the H3 podcast. If it was ever at like a high point.
It's ready to go.
Thank you very much. So it's this. So here's Hassan.
10 minutes to get to this.
Talking about bad empanada from 1 year ago. 1 year ago, guys.
Amazing video about US-led dictatorship in Peru. Chat will definitely like this. Age restricted, 1 hour and 14 minutes, made by a dude who fucking hates me. This has got it all, folks. Yeah, let me go watch a video about a dude who constantly talks about how I'm fucking a reactionary fake socialist because I watch people's videos. That seems like a good idea.
You see, it's all about the react shit. It's nothing. It's all about that we disagreed on the reaction video stuff. And Ethan is trying to frame this as, oh, how is it possible that Hassan agrees with Bad Ebonai's political views when they previously disagreed on this other issue that is so far away and so unimportant in comparison? Whoa, dude! What a hypocrite! It's crazy, bizarre flip-flopping.
Age restricted, which means there's like TOS violations galore in there. Fucking Bad Empanada. The cringiest, like, classic angry leftist who never shuts the fuck up and is just angry at the entire planet. You're a propagandist, dumbass. Like, do it better, okay?
You notice how it's all like, you know, he disagrees with me on React videos. I don't like how he presents himself, stuff like that. That doesn't mean that he can't agree with me in other instances. Doesn't mean that I can't agree with him in other instances. Doesn't mean that that's not what's happening here. You can't understand everything through this fucking prism of just personal relationships, personal disputes, personal politics. It's fucking ridiculous, man, that this is the level of intellect that you operate on.
Your job is to do propaganda. Do it better. I know that Bad Empanada like he used to. I think he doesn't like me because he hates he's like on board with like the React Gate shit. He's like, wow, Hassan just like reacts to videos and he's like stealing other people's
It's literally exactly what I said beforehand. Disagreeing with him on what constitutes fair use or like ethical use of other people's content does not mean that he can't agree with me on Israel-Palestine, which is a billion times more fucking important than that.
Yeah, he does not like me. I'm never gonna watch a Bad Empanada video on the stream. I'm just letting you guys know. If you think I'm gonna fuck
Teddy Fresh by
our world, bro. What the?
Specifically because I told him not to watch my videos at this point, and I told him later that he could watch my videos because of Gaza. After the Gaza genocide, I said, you know, this is way more important than anything about like profiting off other people's work. So just watch them if you want, so that more people can be exposed to the fucking facts regarding Israel-Palestine, because I care about that more, unlike you, Ethan.
Well, he is in Teddy Fresh. This was just a year ago.
He is in Teddy Fresh. That is so detrimental to him. Huge fucking L. I hate saying that, but it really is a huge L for Hassan Piker. It also really is a huge L for Hassan Piker that he ever ran a podcast with this fucking idiot. Like, dude, you need to be a better judge of people.
He's like, this guy's the worst. I would never watch a Bad Empanada video on my stream. Fast forward, he's probably watched like, I don't know, 10? He's watched them a lot. He started making...
When he was making this, Hassan had watched like a total of 2 videos of mine. The ones responding to Loner Box and outing him as a genocide denier. That was all. I believe yesterday Hassan also watched 2 or 3 more of them, which were just me dissecting Ethan Klein's disgusting Zionist propaganda from the content new. Like, he watches my videos because he thinks they are well argued and they have, you know, they have factual information in them, not because he likes me as a person. I don't think Ethan Klein can even understand that you can watch the YouTube videos without being like emotionally attached to the person making them. I'm not emotionally attached to YouTube videos. I watch like the dumbest YouTube channels alive and shit often. Like, I don't watch anything like what the content that I make. I watch like a guy pretending to believe in like UFO stories in a creepy voice. But if I operate on the level that fucking Ethan Klein does, I would like become emotionally attached to that guy and like wish that he has disputes with 1 billion other people. It's just so weird to me, man. Ultimately, me and Hassan Piker agree on a lot of things regarding the Israeli genocide of Palestinians and the disgustingness of the Zionist project. And so that's why he watches my videos on that topic. It's possible that in the future he's going to disagree with me on other topics. It's possible I might even make fun of him. I might even deride him. He might even make fun of me. He might even deride me. But ultimately, what's more important to us is the fucking issues, not just impressing our disgusting Zionist terrorist wife.
Videos about me.
And he's like stealing other people's labor. Yeah, he does not like me. I'm never gonna watch a Bad Empanada video on the stream.
Anyway, sorry, but yeah, he's wearing a Teddy Fresh shirt, just ironic. Which he said he never liked. He never liked. He always thought it was ugly.
Just letting you guys know. If you think I'm gonna fucking watch a YouTube essay from a dude literally openly antagonizing.
So he was so nice that he wore your shitty clothing just to be like, because he was your friend and he thought like it was cute and nice to wear the clothes that your brand gave him. Okay, I guess that proves that it's not shit.
Stick towards me watching fucking YouTube videos. You're out of your fucking mind, okay?
Yeah.
You think I want him to write like 700 hours worth of new YouTube essays about how I have wronged him? I don't want that. I don't want that at all, okay? He would perhaps benefit tremendously if I did watch his YouTube videos on this channel, but I'm never gonna fucking do that, okay?
Yeah, well.
Yes, batshit insane leftists do actually make really good content from time to time. I think Bad Empanada would be one of the better.
He just said that I made really good content, but he didn't want to watch my videos because I said that I disagree with the way that he does his reactions. That's all. That's the whole substance of this. Every single clip that he's playing here is just that. Like, do you not digest the fact that it's possible that me and Hassan Piker disagree on reaction content, and we also agree on Israel-Palestine, and that's allowed? You stupid fucker. I'm just going to keep repeating myself. I'll just let this play.
I think creators online, if you just didn't have Twitter account, because he's such a fucking freak, dude. Oh my lord, he's such a goddamn freak. He is the most insane person. He has like 7,000 accounts. I just said I have an official blockade on Bad Empanada videos on this broadcast while I'm live. That's number one. And number two, he's not just mean on Twitter. He is a psychopath, okay?
He does not like this guy. He really understands how dangerous and how much of a lunatic this guy is. Just 1 year ago. I mean,
how does he understand how dangerous and how lunatic and how much of a lunatic I am? Because I said that he shouldn't do shitty React content.
Because I don't want you to harass me. But he's like, I do want you to harass Ethan, though.
He's just simply mean on Twitter. He's ridiculous. He's not just mean.
How are you being harassed?
Mean on Twitter.
Right.
He is the most insane person on Twitter. He would perhaps benefit tremendously if I did watch his YouTube videos on this channel.
It is kind of weird how like butthurt Hassan got over me. Like, I literally said like twice that I disagree with his reaction stuff, and he got incredibly butthurt about that to the point that he talked about this like apparently like 5 times. But yeah, it's kind of lame. But I mean, ultimately just unimportant compared to everything else.
Yep. This is really good. This shows, like I said before, he was like a niche fucking freak creator. Hassan has catapulted him to like some pretty, decent relevance in this space.
No, what actually happened, I mean, you can look at the same chart. What actually catapulted me to relevance was refuting you. Hassan had almost nothing to do with it. Or really nothing to do with it. Like, if you watch my statistics, my recent statistics, the video that got me a lot more views and subscribers than usual was this one, and then a bunch of follow-ups that I made refuting Ethan Klein. You can see here this huge spike in subscribers on week ending October 28th. This video was released on October 24th. The video I made that Hassan did actually react to, that had nothing to do with Ethan Klein, by the way, was calling Lonerbox out for genocide denial, was this one, released on November 8th. So quite clearly, I was already getting a ton of traction long before Hassan ever watched one of my videos, specifically because you, Ethan, gave me that opportunity. You presented yourself as the quintessential dumbass liberal Zionist, just ripe to be refuted on all of the most generic liberal Zionist talking points imaginable that you ripped directly from ChatGPT, and I stepped up to the plate and did so, and I've been rewarded handsomely for it. I do not thank Hassan Parker for a single thing. I thank you, Ethan Klein, for being such a colossal dumbass that me and many others are now making fucking bank off destroying you, while also destroying your disgusting Zionist genocide propaganda in the process. Thank you, Ethan Klein. You are my best friend. You are the living representation of meritocracy.
Which you think would backfire, but I guess I don't think.
Why would it backfire? Why would this backfire? Why exactly should it be impermissible for him to watch me? Because I'm a wanted criminal and all of this shit that you fucking made up, you dumb fucking moron. You're lucky you live in the US, because the US is like the only place where you can say that and get away with it.
Anything matters anymore. I mean, again, a year ago, Hassan was saying this about him.
But I'm never gonna fucking do that.
The guy who just like today was saying, I'm coming on a plane to get you.
Can you imagine pretending to take that seriously, pretending that that interpretation of that story is valid at all? He's such a fucking loser. He just has to pretend to be outraged all the time because his wife forces him to do so. So pathetic, man. I bet she told him, Ethan, you can't just let him say that about me, Ethan.
To me, that's not normal. That is not normal. This is not normal behavior.
Ethan, is it normal to touch yourself to a 17-year-old victim of a terrorist attack? To zoom in on her crotch? To talk about how much you want to rape her mouth? Is that normal, Ethan? Let us know in the comments down below.
I get him late all the time.
Can you imagine me promoting someone who was like, I'm coming to get you, Hassan. I'm going to find you in real life. And I'm like, go check out his videos, you guys.
Jesus Christ, the endless fake outrage is incredible.
This guy's fucking awesome. That'd be crazy, right? You think I would get away with something like that?
Why not?
I mean, you haven't gotten away with much, but it's because people don't like what you say. It's because people don't like, for one, you being just obsessed with social media criticism, and for two, people don't like your Zionist propaganda, and that's why your audience has dwindled. So you wouldn't get away with things, but it's not so much that you're like getting cancelled. It's just people don't want to watch you anymore because you're shit. You make shit content and you're a callous dumbass who supports genocidal settler colonial apartheid.
By the way, my point was also that Destiny got banned for calling trans activists inbred. So I said, well, if that's what gets people permanently banned, let's see what happens when...
Anyway, as far as I'm aware, that's like the end of it. That's the end of the part of this video that's relevant to me. Or like Hassan watching Bad Empanadas on stream right now. Actually, no, there's more. Let's check it out.
To be safe.
It's private. It's private. So this is him right now, Ethan Klein. He's watching a video. He did an 8-minute video on my fucking one. Okay, anyway. Ethan Klein spreads Saudi genocide propaganda. Okay.
Are you going to address the actual facts in this video, Ethan?
I can see me being aligned with Saudi Arabia. And Hassan is watching this. Instead, by the way, of watching my video, which he could do very easily. And
Ethan, you keep bringing up that talking point. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter who refutes you. It doesn't matter if I do it, if Hassan does it, if anyone else does it. What matters is that you're wrong. What matters is that you spread false information to justify genocide. You spread lies to justify genocide. That is the problem. That is the issue. You are wrong whether Hassan refutes you, whether I refute you, whether anyone else refutes you. And you are still wrong if Hassan watches me refuting you. Why you keep focusing on this? Well, Hassan can't refute me. He has to rely on other people to refute me. Maybe that's true, but who fucking cares? What matters here isn't whether Hassan is capable or wants to refute you or not. What matters is that you are fucking wrong. What matters is the actual issues, the problems that you justify genocide.
At this point, he's probably consumed like at least 10 hours worth of content about my video.
So are you going to address that content about your video? Are you going to address all of the rebuttals to you that are in those videos that he's watched? Or are you just going to just complain that Hassan won't watch your video, only stream directly?
But he can only interface it through people like Bad Empanada, who threatened to get on a plane and come get me.
He's going to keep saying that as if he at all thinks it's serious. Oh my God. Do you ever get tired of pretending to be outraged, pretending to be a victim of anti-Semitism, just pretending to be a victim of everything? You have become a very good Israeli Zionist, Ethan Klein. You have adapted to the culture perfectly.
To me as today.
It's kind of comical how many videos of the nuke he's seen, but not the actual nuke. It's at this point, just watch it, you know?
Just watch it.
Why would you need to watch it when there's videos out there that explain with clear evidence how and why every little part of it is wrong? There's no reason to watch it. He doesn't need to watch it because ultimately what matters is that it's wrong, not that he watches it or not. Like, you guys have the dumbest talking points imaginable. It's like, okay, so I might be wrong, but someone else proved me wrong, not you. Ha ha. Oh my God, the dumbest fucking...
Bro, I'll be honest with you. He knows he's cooked by it. The stuff in there...
If he's so cooked by it, then why can't you go and refute my video on it or the other people's videos on it that refuted every single fucking part of it?
There is indefensible. And like watching it laid out so plainly is going to be impossible to explain, and he knows that.
It was very easy to explain. I did it, like I sat down for like 5 hours and did it really easily. Like, you have to understand that it took me only 5 hours to refute a 2-hour-long video means that video is such total substanceless dog shit. Usually it should take like minimum like 4 or 5 times the amount of time to refute something as it does to actually bring it up in the first place. It was easy as shit to refute. It's just lie after lie that you could easily refute by Googling it. So no, he's not cooked by it. No one's cooked by it. He's fine. If anything, you're declining even more as a result of that. And he can just ignore it and move on with his life because ultimately it doesn't matter. You didn't do shit at all. All you did is Google generic Zionist talking points and threw them in there and just called brown people terrorists for 2 hours.
He knows that. And being a proud propagandist, he knows he needs to delegitimize the video, but he can't actually interact with the video.
The videos that he's watching are literally of me interacting with the video and refuting every single point of it. Every single fucking point in the video directly refuted on its merits, on the facts, on the arguments being made, on the evidence. Like, you're talking like it's fucking unassailable and no one can deal with it. He literally offered to come on your stream and deal with it directly with you live. I've offered to come on your stream and refute every single talking point you made in that video live. Many other people have offered to debate you on Israel-Palestine. You are too fucking cowardly to do so. All that you can do is complain. Oh, how dare you watch this person who refuted me? How dare you don't refute me directly yourself? As if whether or not I'm wrong depends on who refutes me rather than me being wrong.
So what he does is amplifies people like Bad Empanada, who he previously called one of the worst people in the world, and he would never show his videos on his channel. Just
because we disagreed on React content. Clearly, a genocide is way more important than that, isn't it, you dumb fuck?
A year ago. Did I mention to just as recently as today, Bad Empanada threatened me. I know that Hassan was pretty troubled by Sam Hyde's threats against him. I remember him talking about it and being like,
I mean, Sam Hyde was like challenging him to a fight.
You're disturbed and troubled by it. I find it odd that he would.
Understandably so.
Sure. I find it odd that he wouldn't seem not to care about it when it happens to me.
Imagine being such a cut little baby bitch, so fragile that you have to pretend that a fucking stock image of a plane flying over California is like a real threat that you are shaken by. Like, it was so fucking amazing. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Jesus Christ, this is
it's a little catty and weird, considering I feel like our conflict at this point runs so deep. But I'm gonna pull it up anyway. Fuck it.
Out of context would be to talk to me face to face instead of just watching me on a 30-second delay on your stream.
Wait, that's what I'm. Wait, how does he know I'm watching already?
Oh my god, he fucking got you. He got you. That's incredible. Like, dude, you won't debate me, you won't debate him, and it's so predictable that he can call what you're going to do literally as you do it, because it's all that you do. You are scared of direct confrontation. You are a meek, tiny, small little boy who is especially scared of direct confrontation because you know that it will go so badly for you that your IDF honeypot wife finally has enough and leaves. I just want to emphasize again, all of this is about the facts. All of this is just Ethan Klein lashing out because he knows that he's a fucking moron. He cannot engage on the facts. He knows that if he engaged directly with my content, or he engaged directly in the debate with me or Hassan or like lots of other creators, he would be fucking destroyed and his talking points would be just wrecked forever. So instead, what he does is just ad hominem, constantly insisting that no one can refute him, no one can explain anything against him, when we've all done that many times already. We've refuted everything that he said. We've explained precisely how and why the things that we've said about him apply to him. He just pretends it does not exist, pretends that we are not challenging him to a debate every single day, that we're not ready to go on a moment's notice to his dumb fucking podcast and talk to him. We can come onto our streams or whatever he wants. He pretends that's not happening to like his audience in a bubble of like just morons at this point, like total morons, numpty morons. Like, if he has gained any new audience members recently, they've just been Israeli Zionists. It's that simple. It's all about avoidance. Like, he challenges fucking random Reddit commenters to come on his podcast while avoiding me and Hassan. And not only avoids me, but he does like segments complaining about like the dumbest shit. Like, he doesn't do a segment responding to my arguments, to my rebuttals, to the evidence that I presented proving him wrong. He does a segment responding to an Instagram story where I said that he's cucked by his wife and spends like 3 minutes of it zooming in on my beard and calling me ugly. What a fucking joke. What a coward. What a pathetic loser. What more is there to say?
Laugh at this girl who was raped, and then immediately you say, I believe all women, and it's like, oh, wasn't she lying? Like, go to a museum, put this there. This is the fucking caliber. This is what's happening in Hassan's community. This is what it is.
Ethan is the king of reacting to clips out of context. So after the quote-unquote content nuke on Hassan dropped, Ethan reacted to an out-of-context clip of Denims reacting to said content nuke.
Denims. Get a load of this dumb. Go from believe all women to Pixar didn't happen. The vast majority of people, if not all, who were murdered on the spot.
Ethan's claim about dozens of victims being murdered on the spot is completely baseless. An Israeli prosecutor overseeing the Hamas militants captured on October 7th has admitted that her department has failed to find any evidence of Hamas committing on October 7th.
In new footage, Agam reveals that assault and was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
It doesn't matter if this happened on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please, go right ahead.
It doesn't matter if this happened on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses, most of who were in hiding and heard or saw it happen. What's the problem? Did you not hear what they said? You respect women? Why are you calling them liars? How cool is that? Say something. You just said you believe victims, but here it's a victim right now, a woman telling you this happened, and you're smiling? What's funny about that? And each week there's more nothing stories to say coming out. There's a UN report that concludes it happened.
Doesn't matter.
But Hassan needs a kit from a mutilated.
Wait, wasn't this disproven?
Was this clip from her disproven? Is he going to play the clip of her?
This clip of her first. How do you disprove firsthand testimony? Let's go ahead and question the narrative. Well, I just don't believe Biden. If it was firsthand accounts, I'd believe them. Go ahead and say that
We are
shit.
believing the women who come forward and talk about their sexual
so righteous
or experience.
I love the righteous indignation. She would never do that.
I'm not going to believe King Biden when he tells me that everybody's getting raped.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
You realize that that's insane,
It's so
right?
crazy. Her first instinct being wasn't that disproven. Imagine that. Imagine someone who says they believe women and support women of violence, and your first fucking thought after being disproven is that this bitch is lying, and actually continue to stream with a straight fucking face and pretend to be progressive.
Gam Goldstein Almog was kidnapped from her home on October 7th by Hamas and was held captive for 51 days. Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg.
Pretty amazing to
Screams
be
Before
immediately
Silence.
Disproven. She goes, I wouldn't believe it unless it was firsthand. Here's a 17-year-old whose family was in front of her and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not going to fucking acknowledge what just happened? This is a disgusting human being. She's a vile piece of shit.
In new footage, Agam reveals that sexual assault and rape was a regular component of the life as a hostage in Gaza.
Doesn't matter if it's happened on October 7th.
Hassan, maybe you would like to call her a liar. Please. Hey, it's funny. I go, Hassan, go ahead and call her a liar. Here's a first-hand account. And she's like, hold my beer, or whatever that meme is. Hold my fucking rape kit. God damn it, somebody's got to call her a liar. I'll step up to the challenge. I will accept this task. This
was a...
Or whatever that meme is. Hold my fucking rape kit. God damn it, somebody's got to call her a liar. I'll step up to the challenge. I will accept this task. This bitch is lying. Go right ahead.
Doesn't matter if it's happened on October 7th.
There are dozens of testimonies from witnesses. She thinks it's funny. Imagine hearing that and smiling. Even as pro-Palestine as you can possibly be. What's funny about a 17-year-old, an innocent 17-year-old whose family was murdered in front of her, kidnapped for 50 days, and continually in captivity? What's funny about that? Because she's Israeli? She's 17 years old. She was born there. Her first intuition, a leftist pro-feminist, is to call her a liar. What a disgusting human being she is.
This girl that Ethan is referring to, Agam Goldstein Almog, never claimed to be continually in captivity. She actually said the complete opposite right after being released, but we'll get to that later. Let's just talk about this movie for a second.
Though only 17 years old, she witnessed the murder of her father and sister on that day and is now speaking out about what she witnessed in Gaza as well in a new documentary by Sheryl Sandberg, Screams Before Silence.
This movie that Ethan is getting this clip from is called Screams Before Silence, a movie mostly sourced by testimonials from one victim of sexual assault who we have no reason not to believe, but also from testimonials by Zaka, which is a post-disaster response team with very close ties to the Israeli government. Zaka was the original creator of the 40-bedded babies hoax, which was later debunked, leading Zaka to create the far more effective mass systematic hoax, of which the special representative of the Secretary General on Sexual Violence and Conflict for the United Nations claimed there was no evidence for. She was asked, would you say that you found a pattern of violence that was a strategy of Hamas, both in the October 7 attacks and in regards to the hostages? Patton answers definitively in the negative. According to the UN report, Patton conducted confidential interviews with 34 individuals, including survivors and witnesses of the October 7 attacks, released hostages, first responders, and health and service providers. It visited 4 attack sites, as well as the morgue to which the bodies of victims were transferred, and reviewed over 5,000 photographic images and some 50 hours of footage of the attacks. However, in the conclusion of the report, Patton writes that in the medical legal assessment of available photos and videos, no tangible indications of could be identified. Now, I need to reiterate, it is very likely that did occur. And even in the UN report, it was claimed that several corpses were found in questionable positions that could indicate sexual violence occurred. However, according to the special representative of the Secretary General on Sexual Violence and Conflict for the United Nations, there was no visible pattern of sexual violence used by Hamas as a strategy of war. Probably occurred, but there is no tangible evidence and there is no visible pattern of sexual violence used by Hamas as a strategy of war. This movie, Screams Before Silence, was also produced by Sheryl Sandberg, an American technology executive who formerly worked as the COO of Meta from 2008 to 2022. Meta has its hands all over the United States government, mostly in selling information, technology, and offering special tools for feds. So there's obviously a greater incentive to make such a film. And with a lot of money, you can get very young women to make false claims about in order to justify a genocide. This is a very basic part of history. Hoaxes being used to justify genocide, whether it be under Western expansion and genocide of Native Americans in the United States, or in the Jim Crow South, where black men and boys were lynched for the hoax of touching a white woman. The woman who claimed she was touched by 14-year-old Emmett Till, leading to his murder and mutilation, has admitted to making a false report and is still alive to this day, facing zero repercussions. This hoax strategy was also used against Jewish people in Nazi Germany. This is so simple to understand, yet Ethan and Hila are participating in genocide justification. Okay, let's see the rest of this clip, and then we'll get into Denham's response, which further covers the false claims and smears made by Ethan.
What is this? And yes, she is a fucking bitch. Somebody that laughs in the face of other fucking victims and immediately calls them liars, that's a fucking bitch of a person. If not that, then who? She is earning the coveted distinction of being a fucking bitch. Congratulations. Enjoy the distinction. I've come here and I've made the distinction. I have decreed, let it be known, that Denham's is a dumb fucking bitch.
This dude is a quote-unquote progressive social democrat, by the way. Oh, but his only friends nowadays are Trump supporters, so make of that what you will. In response, Denham's took a day off from streaming. Not 2 months, just a single day, to put together a response to Ethan's misogynistic rant and his incredibly dangerous false accusations.
Hey guys, I think I pissed off Ethan Klein. He hasn't had a lot of nice things to say about me since the incident.
45,000 live viewers, by the way. 45,000 views. She had like 45,000 live viewers.
So yeah, I got around 45,000 viewers covering Ethan Klein's content nuke on Hassan. The video was pretty terrible overall. And I think anyone that wasn't sure before is completely certain now that Ethan has become a shell of his former self. I mean, shit, I used to watch this guy in high school.
Now, Denham's video is only 14 minutes long, so given this criticism, you'd think Ethan would be willing and able to react to Denham's 14-minute-long video in full, right? Of course not. Ethan instead decided to react to, not only out of context, but deliberately spliced clips he found on the H3H3 Productions subreddit. And I'm just gonna take a wild guess that the person who spliced these clips together is also active in the Destiny subreddit. Oh, would you look at that?
Let's take a bet. Does she ever acknowledge the fact that she lied about a victim, or is it just like ad hominem? Lock in your answer now. Let's see.
As an ex-Destiny orbiter. He's doing this to distract from the fact that he's currently orbiting Destiny.
Okay. First of all, I'm bigger than Destiny. That's not how gravity works. Okay, lady, take a fucking class in science. I've been bigger than Destiny. Okay?
So you're supposedly a smart girl. Come on. Okay, orbiting Destiny would mean they collaborated together. They like call into each other's show. They do stuff together.
I don't want you to fall into a trap here because she's got receipts.
Okay.
I think Ethan and Hila just have a humiliation fetish, because if you just watch the video in full, you would understand that the brief section on Destiny is meant to be comic relief before Denham starts talking about the much more serious accusations of denial.
Okay, I thought those two clips were fun, but the next clip is a little bit more serious. Before we get into it, a quick palate cleanser.
But I just think it's funny, her and Hassan are the ones calling me an orbiter, and they're the motherfuckers who were part of this guy's life when accusations existed, and they benefited from his
You guys are the actual orbiters. They're real in real life. Like where we live in the reality, you guys are the orbiters. So there's that.
Y'all live in Destiny solar system. I'm out here, rogue black hole. I don't know nothing about nobody.
These people are literally stuck in 2018. Like everyone under the leftist umbrella on Twitch now knows to stay as far away as possible from Destiny. Yet Ethan is frequently browsing his subreddit, and whenever he's talking about Destiny's crimes, he seems oddly unfazed by it, compared to when he talks about Hassan's much less serious accusations of supposedly supporting terrorism.
Although I'll say Hassan is having quite a week. He's doing a victory lap as Destiny, his arch nemesis, was like completely and fully fucking canceled / exposed this month. Pixie showed screenshots of him being like, I'm so sorry if there's anything I can do, you know, if I can pay you to...
Oh, Destiny?
Yeah.
Said that? Oh, wow.
Ooh.
That's deeming.
He said stuff like, you know, I don't know if it helps, but yeah, here he is offering to pay some of her bills. He says, this feels super lame, and I don't at all want to imply that somehow just giving you money helps anything go away or fixes everything for you. But if you have any bills or owe money or anything, or have financial stuff I can help with, I can at the very least chip in and help with any of that. So it's at least one less thing you have to worry about or stress over while you're worrying about getting through this. I had heard this leak happened, and I thought it was just memes and stuff, because apparently there was like a picture or video of him like a dude off. Everyone thought that was funny, whatever. There's nobody on the entire platform to call him out. Nobody. They've all been banned. They've all been banned. Nobody. There is not a single dissenting voice with his fucking straight up radical, anti-American, anti-Semitic, pro-China, pro-Russia, pro-terrorism takes. This is fringe, psychotic, that is not normal. And it is the only acceptable voice on Twitch. Explain that to me. How is there not one dissenting voice on that entire platform? And this has really contributed to a lot of extremism being normalized. It's because young people are on Twitch, they go to Hassan, and they think this is normal. And it's the only option. You can't even click over to someone else who's like, actually, this is why Hassan's wrong. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. That's fucking crazy, dude.
All right, back to the video.
Hassan and his community is desperate to link me to Destiny, someone who I don't even know. They claim that he like ghost wrote my video, that he's my favorite creator.
I wonder why people might think that. But really, just ask Destiny.
Oh shit, she's doing some like Sherlock Holmes type of shit right here, boy. I'm in the middle of a crazy clue game.
Okay. Here's what he has to say on October 22nd, the day after Ethan Klein got caught browsing his subreddit.
I know it wouldn't look good for... I don't know what got caught browsing his subreddit. Can you show me what that means? Like, what the f are you talking about? Like, did I pick that, like, I showed an image that also appeared on his subreddit or something? Like,
do they know that, like, if you open a subreddit, that still doesn't make you an orbiter of Destiny?
I don't know him. They're like, oh,
just to like bring her back to reality for a second.
I mean,
if you opened the Destiny subreddit, it does not make you an orbiter of Destiny.
They disagree.
Well,
Ironically, being friends with him and wanting to sleep with him and streaming with him, hanging out, you know, having a good time, having sex in his bed. Could that happen?
I mean, yeah, you have a pattern of using memes and screenshots sourced from the Destiny subreddit. Your own H3H3 subreddit has been infiltrated by Destiny fans, and your recently visited tab on Reddit frequently features the Destiny subreddit. You are clearly in his orbit, whether or not you even realize.
I know it wouldn't look good for Ethan to publicly do anything with you, but if you reach out on private at all, well, I privately reach out a ton, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much the past week? I'm like scripting these videos. But publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with him because someone's just going to accuse me of like mine, basically, right?
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Denims is a dumb bitch. Well said, sir.
Wait, if you look at her face, it almost looks like she doesn't even believe what she's saying.
That is such obvious.
He's obviously joking, and
well, she was friends with him.
She was friends with him.
She admired his sense of humor and his personality.
So she knows he's joking.
She was very good friends with him.
So worse, bro.
Yeah, look at her face afterwards.
It comes back, she's like,
yikes. Am I right? He weren't willing to lie about. Did you guys know that he pulled a meme from the Destiny subreddit?
These people are such idiots. They think everyone else is just the dumbest motherfucker in the world. Denims is so obviously joking. Oh, and here's the first instance of a spliced clip. And it actually makes Ethan look super guilty. This is the clip they played on stream.
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Denims is a dumb... Well said, sir.
And here is the actual clip from Denim's video.
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
I never Destiny.
Anyways.
I don't know, Ethan. That's kind of sus. It's kind of sus that you wouldn't include that. Definitely doesn't help your case.
Well, privately we try to, of course. Why do you think I've been off stream so much this week?
So he's saying he's been off stream for a long time because we've been working so closely hand in hand that he hasn't had time to stream.
Obviously a joke. I mean, if these people don't have the capacity to understand basic stuff like that, I don't understand why should anybody listen to them on anything.
Well, so this is part of what's so malicious about this movement that I really hope people understand. They are knowingly lie. And I think they collude and knowingly lie because they have very much like a ends justify the means type of thing. So I do believe these people collude to like spread specific, talking points. The problem is that she's so dumb that this one is actually so dumb and bad, it's not really believable, even probably to her dumbest audience members. Although, who knows? Let's see.
They don't care either.
You might be surprised. I might be surprised.
Wait, I want to see her reaction again before you close it.
Sure, yeah.
I'm like scripting these videos, but publicly, I mean, it's difficult to associate with me because someone's just going to accuse me of like mind f***ing basically, right?
If Ethan Klein is willing to lie about all this other stuff, what else is he willing to lie about?
Dennis is a dumb dude, that guy is so on.
Girl, you don't believe your own bullshit.
These people must just think women are stupid or some shit. And for all my men out there, it's actually a very common phenomenon that women have to deal with. They make very obvious jokes in the presence of men, but because men typically see them as lesser than, they think the woman is simply incorrect rather than making an obvious joke. And that's what Ethan is demonstrating here.
This is the top comment, which I think we all know. She knows he's joking, but she knows her and Hassan's audience either stupid enough to believe it or just willing enough.
Yeah, they're just
to add
willing
it to their
enough.
list of things they knowingly lie about. It's really crazy, the total detachment.
That's what I'm learning, is that they're not like dumb enough, they're willing enough.
Yeah, Hassan's audience is definitely the one not understanding the humor. You guys really understand what's going on here. You're so smart. Okay, here's the other instance in which Ethan reacts to a spliced clip of Denham's original video.
This is another clip, I guess, from her video. Let's see, another obliterating me. In front of her, and she was kidnapped for 50 days and continually while being in captivity. Nothing to say? Nothing? You're not gonna fucking acknowledge what just happened?
I will acknowledge what just happened.
Oh, good. This is the first time I've ever seen one of these people.
Okay.
This is exciting.
This woman who you claimed was continually in captivity did not claim to have been.
Oh my God. The narrator literally says it.
So this narrator says that she met people in captivity that it happened to them, and she witnessed them telling her about it.
Let me play this, and then let's say our point. At least one of the people said that they had suffered some physical abuse. About half of them.
In that interview,
And remember, the narrator says that people soaked.
That is not the original video. And if they had just watched the video, they would have realized how baseless their argument really is. Here is the actual clip from Denham's video.
I will acknowledge what just happened. This woman who you claimed was continually in captivity did not claim to have been. In fact, when she was released from captivity, she had this to say.
ואז אחד מהם היה צעיר, עשה איתי הורדת ידיים, אבל הוא הביא מגבת, כדי לא... כי אסור לו לגעת בי. אישה היא מאוד... אישה היא קדושה שם. אישה היא מלכה. היו עושים לי שיחות איך לשמור על אדם. הסברנו להם שגם אצלנו לפעמים כן יש שלאדם יכול להיות חבר, או יכולים להיות לה כמה חברים לפני שהיא תתחתן. אני אפילו מעודדת את זה, שהיא תתנסה, שהיא תכיר, לפני שהיא אצלה מוסד הנישואים. אבל היינו מתאמתים על זה.
Later, she did a different interview for a documentary, which is what Ethan put on the screen. In that interview, she said that at least half the hostages she spoke to said they were sexually assaulted. At no point did she claim that anything had happened to her, and to my knowledge so far, no hostages have given first-hand accounts of being sexually assaulted in captivity.
כל פעם שפגשתי מישהו היה לפחות מישהי או מישהו אחד שחוו התעללות מינית והתעללות פיזית. כמעט, כאילו חצי מהם.
Now, other women have also claimed that while they weren't victims themselves, they spoke to others that were, asking people to believe second-hand accounts that change with no explanation is insane. I take issue with other people manipulating these women's horrific experiences to fit their narratives. I have said countless times that in any military, paramilitary, or attack, there will unfortunately be abuse. American troops have been found guilty of this countless times over the past few decades. I have to believe that there was abuse on October 7th. I will also always believe victims who come forward to talk about their abuse. I stand by that.
So yeah, what Denims is showing and proving in this video is that the girl Ethan originally claimed was continually in captivity and thus accused Denims of laughing at her and calling her a liar, not only never claimed to be herself, but well before this documentary was filmed, she gave a contradicting report, saying that it was forbidden for her to be touched. The clip of her saying this was very poorly received by the people of Israel, and thus when she was given another opportunity to talk about her experience, she all of a sudden changed her story, making her claims of hearing about acts of sexual violence lose all credibility. Ethan is spreading dangerous lies that are used time and time again to justify genocide. I think there is one main takeaway we can learn from this entire Ethan versus Denim situation. Whenever Ethan is reacting to or discussing certain Twitch streamers, YouTubers, or really anyone online he has a problem with, specifically those he disagrees with politically, I think it's safe to assume more times than not that Ethan is either straight up lying or is too stupid to realize he has no idea what he's talking about. Please, if you can, go show some support to friend of the show, Denims. Thank you for watching NSR. Peace and love. Free Palestine.
Hostiles have captured the hard point.
They call me Brian Callahan. In this cruel world, there is a man you should listen to as he journey on to life. His name is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, shoulders for days and a really wide back. Joe Rogan, barrel of snakes for a bag.
You fucked up. You should have never done that song. It was terrible.
All right, so this cringe merchant we have here is Lex Friedman, who I'm sure people are somewhat familiar with, but if you're not, he's another one of these pseudo-intellectual Rogan Sphere podcaster characters who has some kind of association with MIT and has worked on AI research, but his role at MIT and some of the work he's done there has been questioned a lot, and other experts in his field have heavily criticized some of his research because he's mostly known for doing this research paper on the safety of Tesla Autopilot that was really favorable for Tesla, but was called out by a lot of other academics. And Lex's response was just to block everybody that was critical of it. And now it's almost impossible to find his research paper. But it did, of course, get Elon Musk's attention, which I'm sure was Lex's main goal with it.
It makes for a fun chat, I think. So one guy that I've talked to several times, who's slowly becoming a friend, is a guy named Elon Musk.
And because of Lex's association with MIT, AI, and Elon Musk, now some people think Lex is an MIT professor and an AI genius that works on Teslas.
Like Lex Friedman went on Joe Rogan the other day, and he's a AI genius guy. He does all the Teslas and stuff.
So he managed to leverage those credentials into getting Joe Rogan and Elon Musk's attention. You know, basically he's a professional Elon Musk and Joe Rogan dick rider, which can get you pretty far. I mean, he's one of the top podcasters now, but the amount of glazing you have to do is pretty embarrassing. I mean, that Joe Rogan song Lex performed felt like a humiliation ritual, but you know, there's a lot of people competing for Rogan and Elon's attention, so you have to take drastic measures sometimes. Like when it comes to glazing Elon, it's not easy to compete with some of these people like Ian Miles Chong, but Lex, he'll give him a run for his money. I mean, these two spend so much time on Twitter just thinking of ways to praise Elon. And during this past Valentine's Day,
This was really cringy. Elon, his girlfriend, posted a picture of her and their kids. And then Elon responded with like a heart emoji, and then she responded with the same thing. And then for some reason, Lex responded to both of them and said, loving this, with a heart emoji. And the comments are like, dude, this is creepy. This is so weird. What are you doing? And then also on Lex's podcast, he'll praise Elon every chance he gets. And he'll even ask his guests questions like this.
A little bit more love. What do you admire in the name of love about Elon Musk?
And Lex always says shit like this. He's always talking about the importance of love, and he just sounds so childish. Like he thinks everything can be solved through the power of love and forgiveness. Like when he had on Zelensky, he said he just needs to learn to forgive Putin, which no matter what side you're on there, to think that those two are going to forgive each other is just absolutely insane. But Lex acts like he lives in a fairy tale world, and whenever there's a conflict or a problem, he thinks it can just be solved with the power of love. And you can tell even the guests he has on his show think it's kind of goofy how much he talks about this. And sometimes he even has trouble keeping a straight face when he mentions it.
I gotta ask you about love.
I heard you're into this now.
Into this love thing?
Yeah. Do you think this is your solution to your depression?
No, I'm just trying to, like you said, enlighten people in a cage. I'm trying to solve. But in that sense, I would say the power of love is the philosophy you might apply to Brett. Any chance you talk to Joe again and reinvigorate your friendship?
Yeah, well, I reached out to him privately when I saw that.
Did you use the power of love?
And in my opinion, this whole image he portrays of being all about love and understanding just seems like a facade. I mean, he tries so hard to act like he's a really thoughtful and caring person who just wants to understand everybody and their opinions and perspective.
And I'm willing to be patient, to learn, to listen, to humble myself with knowledge for the sake of knowledge itself. I try to think deeply about the world, to look for the beautiful ideas in the minds of others, and to be inspired by them.
But then he goes around blocking anybody that's even remotely critical of him, even people in the same field, you know, AI and computer scientists. He'll block them. Even if you like the wrong tweet, he'll block you. And then also a ton of people have been banned from his subreddit. And I guess if you even ask any questions about his background or anything, you'll get banned. Like if you say he graduated from Drexler and not MIT, they'll ban you. So this doesn't really seem like somebody who's all about having conversations and understanding where people are coming from. And then also one time, Mark Norman, he told this story about how he was doing a podcast with Lex and he was at a hotel and Lex needed to print something, but the printer wasn't working. And he said Lex started yelling at the lady who was working there. And Mark sounded pretty surprised by it because obviously if you listen to Lex's podcast, he sounds very even-tempered and relaxed, and he talks a lot about love and compassion. But then if a printer breaks down, he'll flip out.
Well, what's fun is we did it in a hotel in New York. He was in town for some reason, and the printer wasn't working in the lobby, and I got to watch him yell at the lady behind the desk, and that was weird, seeing him not be that robot guy. He was like, what the hell? The printer isn't working? Get your shit together. And some girl like, I don't know. And I want to be like, hey, that's the autistic guy.
And this part of the podcast was originally posted as a clip, like to the We Might Be Drunk clip channel, but then it was deleted, which makes me think Lex told them to delete it. So this guy's just a really strange character. I mean, he's like an enigma, and it seems like he came out of nowhere. You know, like somehow Rogan found out about him and had him on, and then he started his own podcast and right away had on Elon Musk. And now he's one of the biggest podcasters in the world and has on the same caliber of guests as Rogan, like Mark Zuckerberg, Donald Trump, Kanye West, and even people that Rogan hasn't had on that he probably wants to, like Jeff Bezos. And then also for some reason, Lex spent a Thanksgiving with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. So Lex's rise to fame, in my opinion, just feels kind of contrived, like he's an industry plant or something. I mean, even Ari and Mark during this podcast I just played were like, this guy just popped up out of nowhere and everybody's acting like they know him already. It's kind of weird.
Big and new, just like everybody likes Huberman, everybody likes Lex Friedman. Everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna invite him to my wedding. Like, you didn't even know it existed 4 months ago. What the fuck are we talking about?
He gets Elon Musk, he gets Tucker Carlson, he gets Rogan, he gets all these giant names, and he's just like an MIT robot.
So even Rogan's comedy friends seem to be confused about why Lex is so popular all of a sudden. Like Tim Dillon, he thought the same thing after he did Lex's podcast, and this was maybe one of the best rants from him. He did Lex's podcast, and afterwards he's like, everyone says Lex is a genius, and I'm sure he is, but what does he even do other than whack off Elon Musk? And he just starts going off on him and Eric Weinstein. And this caused Eric to have like a mental breakdown. And he went on Rogan's podcast afterwards to prove what he's done, like his life's work. And it was a complete disaster. It was so embarrassing. I covered that on Patreon. Make sure you check that out. It was hilarious. but it sounds like Rogan convinces all his comedy friends to do Lex's podcast, and they go on there and afterwards they're like, that was cool, but who the hell is that guy and where did he come from and what does he even do?
He's great. He's a genius. I can't even believe he's talking to me. And everyone says he's a genius. I don't know if he's a genius. I'm sure he is a genius. What does he do? He's a coder?
Yeah, for AI.
Wait, so what does that even mean?
So like
Does anyone have to ask credentials anymore? Everyone goes, Eric Weinstein's a genie. Does anyone know why? What? Is there anything they've done? No, truly, because all they do is talk. Is there anything they've built? Is there one appliance that they have anything to do with? Have they come up with something even like the Rotato, which peels and slices a potato as you could? Is there one thing any of them have done except whack off Elon Musk and talk? I'm literally asking. And I love them all. And I don't, but I do. But whatever. They're funny, but I mean, and you can't find a thing they do. What is their job? What is any of their jobs?
To do research.
Into what? Why and who? Where? Where's the what? They all do research all day. What are they researching? They're just talking about trans people. They're all supposedly tech geniuses who's talking about who has a cock. I know, I'm dead serious. And all they're talking about is if somebody's tucking the D.
So that might be his best rant. I mean, it's so funny. Like, Rogan tries to convince all these people that Lex is a super genius AI researcher, which maybe he is, but at this point, he's just a podcaster. That's the only thing he's known for. Nobody knows him outside of that. You know, people just know he's involved in AI. That's about it. And I think most people believe he went to MIT or he teaches there because he's always bringing it up, but he never went there. He actually went to Drexler. That's where he graduated from, but he never really mentions that, and he only seems to bring up MIT, I think, to sound more legit. But if he really is this super genius who's doing all this really important AI research, why is he spending so much time doing podcasts and making songs about Joe Rogan and all this other bullshit? You know, it seems like he really just wants to be famous, and some people who know him claim all he's really cared about is just gaining a following and becoming a celebrity. And I guess his strategy to do that was to convince Joe Rogan that he's some kind of AI genius and then also suck up to him and Elon Musk, which obviously worked well. I mean, Rogan promoted him like crazy and would always tell people to do his podcast. And one of the funniest moments was when he tried to convince Neil deGrasse Tyson to do his podcast. And he showed him this video of Lex playing the guitar in a self-driving car. And Neil, he couldn't have been less interested in it.
That's pretty good. Lex can shred. Give me some of that. You got to listen to this. Listen to this. Have you done Lex's podcast?
No.
You would love him. He's an AI researcher. From MIT originally, and now he's mostly doing independent work and doing his own podcast. And brilliant guy. You would love him. And he's got an amazing podcast, too.
Okay, so here, it's going to be in this section
I don't think you're interested in Lex's podcast. Seems like he's not paying attention.
No, hang on. I got this.
Lex,
no, thank you for the tip.
I'm trying to get him on, buddy.
I'm trying to get him in.
Lex actually is one of the most brilliant people I know. I think you would love talking to him.
For an interesting quote here from Walter Bagehot.
And I'm not saying Lex is a bad podcaster, but I don't know why Rogan feels the need to tell everyone they need to go on there. You know, it's not like his podcast is that unique. I mean, it's like the same thing as Rogan's, and Lex has a lot of the same interests. He talks about the same topics, and he's heavily inspired by Rogan. So I don't know why Joe feels like all these people that just did his podcast need to go do another one with this random AI researcher nobody even knew about not too long ago. You know, it'd make more sense if he just had on tech people. But for him to have on somebody like Jocko Willink, that just doesn't seem like something that needs to happen. But I'm sure Rogan set it up and it's probably like, oh, you got to do this podcast. And then he went on there and it seemed like right away he's thinking, why am I here?
Is it tragic or beautiful to you that some of the closest bonds that have formed between people are through war often?
I think it's both tragic and beautiful, and for the obvious reasons.
What are some of the worst aspects of when you were in Iraq? What are the things that the hardest on you?
Having my guys killed. Hopefully surf if the waves are good.
Surf for?
How good are the waves?
Let's say they're good. This is a perfect day. This is a perfect waves. Why do you surf?
It's fun.
Okay, this is fun. Okay, man and nature, which is like what surfing is the ultimate, is the power of the infinite power of the ocean versus a little silly looking man on a board.
You could say it's the infinite power of the ocean versus a silly looking man on a board, or you could say it's fun.
And Lex just really wants to be like Rogan. You know, he has a lot of the same interests. He's into jujitsu, comedy, hunting, lifting, and he'll try to convince people that he's an alpha male. Like, he hates the idea of people thinking of him as a nerd or a beta. So he has to remind people that he's an alpha and he has a Rogan inside him and he's a man's man because he likes to lift heavy objects.
Okay, so I love fighting. I've been in street fights my whole life. I'm as alpha in everything I do as it gets. And the fact that Joe Rogan said that I thought Scent of a Woman is a better movie than John Wick put me into this beta category. Like, I'm a total bro in a sense. Like, I may not look like it, but I have like a Rogan inside me. And my dad, like, I really am a man's man, except for the times in like Harvard Square and academia rubs off on me. But for the most part, man's man.
What does a man's man mean? May I get granular?
There's just a list of stupid shit you do. Like, I like lifting heavy things. I like building stuff. I love the idea of hunting. I love fishing. I like knives and guns and
risk, danger.
Risk and danger, yeah.
Okay, so all like the carnal sort of.
I love fighting, combat, violence.
But not in relationships?
I mean, like, literally getting in a street fight. Just two monkeys going at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it.
The adrenaline.
The adrenaline, I'm an alpha, you know, like I'm a badder motherfucker than you.
I'm not buying that even when he talks remotely.
Like that. I hate when
That's
not true.
Yeah, so he just desperately wants to be seen as an alpha male, and he also probably just wants to get Rogan's acceptance and approval. Like, he's always trying to impress him. But it's just embarrassing if you have to go around telling people you're an alpha male. I guess he just needs to remind people, though. You know, and he also needs to remind people that he has a PhD and he knows what he's talking about.
If you're going to criticize me about my exploration of ideas in Bitcoin, you have to also acknowledge that I'm a human being that got like a PhD in stuff. Like, I did some hard shit that it could be in farming or it could be in whatever. Like, I've lived life and I've really thought deeply and I really care. I know a lot of shit. And it's possible that I actually have a lot of ideas that you can learn from. Now, if it's agriculture, fine, or if it's artificial intelligence, fine. Like, I know what I'm talking about certain.
Yeah, so I guess Lex knows what he's talking about because he has a PhD and stuff. So you could tell he's just really insecure about people not taking him seriously or not thinking he's an intellectual. Just like Eric Weinstein, who still hasn't recovered from Tim Dillon questioning what he's done. And if you want to hear more about that, I covered that whole saga over on Patreon. It was hilarious. All right, so Joe Rogan has been getting torn apart recently for his comedy special, Burn the Boats, which I'm sure is tough for him because he loves comedy, but he just doesn't have it. And I think it's safe to say if it wasn't for him being known for Fear Factor and podcasting or UFC, nobody would be paying attention to his stand-up, which is very similar to his disciple, Brendan Schaub, and his failed comedy career. Like, they're both known for UFC and podcasting, which has helped them promote their bad stand-up comedy. So, of course, people are going to be comparing Burn the Boats to Gringo Poppy, which Brendan honestly probably enjoys seeing because Joe had been really critical of Brendan's comedy and he never let him perform at the Mothership, which Brendan definitely seemed to be bitter about.
It has been a problem, though, because there's, you know, a lot of people want to come. And some of them are just, you know... People are weird, like, that want a headline and you know that they know. Like, you know that you're not really a headliner. Like, what are you talking about?
And me and Rogan had this conversation. I'm not there yet. I was talking to Rogan this morning. I go, I cannot listen to another podcast of you and anyone you've had at the club, the mothership, and how fun it is.
I know.
It makes me want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Rogan is the reason Brendan gave up on comedy. He was also the reason Brendan started it, though. But before his first special is when him and Rogan started having some disagreements about it. Because Rogan and Brian Callen knew it was a bad idea for him to do a special that early on. But of course, Brendan, he didn't want to listen, and he just thought they were being haters.
No, but you're right. But as far as the comedy, like, I didn't anticipate any of it. And I wish I was smarter to see it. Because when my agent goes, hey, Showtime wants to give a special, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be just like them. I didn't realize.
And I tried to talk him out of it.
You and Rogan did.
I tried to talk him out. We almost got in a physical fight.
And then I was like, oh, they're just haters. And I didn't realize the backlash. And then, but even like my first set was at the Comedy Store. I didn't realize how big of a deal that was. And I'm like, oh, everyone's gonna dig this. I'm at the Comedy Store. But I should have never been there. The Showtime special, I should have never gotten that.
So Rogan and Callen were giving him good advice and just being honest with him, which obviously Brendan didn't handle well. And then after he put out the Gringo Poppy, I think is when Rogan just finally completely gave up on him. Even though he did have Brendan on his podcast to promote it, but you could tell Rogan was just over Brendan's comedy career at that point. And he's even taken some subtle shots at Brendan's stand-up, and he just didn't care anymore, like if people were making fun of him. He used to, I think, kind of be defensive about it, like if anybody made fun of Brendan. But after Gringo Poppy, he just didn't care. And also he had moved to Austin already, so Brendan was kind of on his own. You know, he's left to fend for himself, and he was not prepared for that.
And I'm on this island by myself. I'm like, whoa, where's everybody? No, those days are over, dude. You got to figure it out on your own. Those days are over. Very bold. Do you think about having a fucking Showtime special when you're 2 years in, dude?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah,
It's big balls, dude.
At least Charlie didn't film his shit.
Yeah, true.
Who is the most hated man on the internet?
His name is Hunter Moore. I don't know.
Brendan Schaub just went like this.
Oh. Whew.
How'd you rate it? How'd you rate it? On a scale to Brendan Schaub to 10, what'd you rate it?
But now with Rogan's most recent special, he's kind of in a similar position to Brendan. You know, obviously he's not as bad, but he's been doing it forever, and he's one of the most popular comedians in the world, so you're going to expect a little more from him. But after watching Burn the Boats, it's like, okay, it makes sense that Joe thought Brendan Schaub could be a stand-up comedian. I mean, I think the only difference between Brendan and Joe's comedy is just the fact that Joe's been doing it for like 30 years. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brendan started to get some confidence after watching Rogan's special. You know, he's probably thinking, I can't be that much worse than him. And also, since Rogan had been really critical of Brendan's comedy and didn't allow him to perform at the mothership, Brendan's probably kind of happy reading some of those reviews and knowing that his special got a 4.8 on IMDb. And recently, Mark Harley was actually talking about this and confirming some of it. If you're not familiar with him, he was Brendan's former baddie and Addy wrangler. He had helped Brendan get Adderall, and he had DM girls for him. But then Brendan fired him, and they had a whole falling out, and Mark turned on him and started exposing all this stuff about him on the Fighter and the Kid subreddit. But then Mark kind of had a falling out with the subreddit because he wanted them to take his side in this really toxic marriage he was in. And this video went viral of him trying to lift his wife's car up to prevent her from leaving. It was wild. I mean, there's just so much drama that comes from Brendan Schaub. It's unbelievable. But recently, Mark was on 10 Minutes of Schaub, and he was talking about the reviews of Rogan's special, and specifically this video from Elephant Graveyard that I highly recommend checking out if you haven't seen it yet. It was really well done. And of course, he compares Burn the Boats to Gringo Poppy, and at one point he shows that Brendan and Rogan had similar jokes in their specials.
And now something starts to happen that, and I can't believe I'm even saying this, but Joe actually goes full Brendan Schaub with this wonderful Chinese voice he does here.
Look, there's Harry! Mr. Schaub, after you numb your lip, you need many, many stitches. This be what's in your life. With all these big criticisms about our infrastructure!
Well, that is rough, but at least he's not straight up copying Brendan's jokes, right?
My life would be so much easier if I was just gay as shit. I wish I was gay. It looks way easier. We'd like play video games all day. We'd work out. At night, we'd fuck each other. You're hanging out with only guys? No one can get pregnant?
That is a low that is so low where I never expected Joe to go.
So Mark Harley was talking about that video and just the reviews of Rogan's special and how Brendan probably loves seeing it because since Rogan trashed his comedy, now they kind of have a rivalry.
When people are ripping on Rogan's special, I haven't watched it, but I know for a fact this is what's going on in Brendan's head. He's like, ha, 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 ha. See?
Damn.
Because he has a rivalry with Joe. You guys may or may not know this, but like, because Joe has been critical of him in private about his stand-up, Joe has had conversations with Brendan where he's like, dude, you need to fucking, like, this special is a disaster, you know, whatever. Like, he was critical of Gringo Poppy. Interesting. And Brendan held on to that, you know, like Brendan like acts like, oh, whatever, I don't give a shit. But there are people, he can ignore all the comments, but there's certain people in his life that he obviously can't ignore. And because I think at first he's like, oh yeah, like he might have pretended to watch it. You know, he's like, you know, he sent it to, and why do you send a special to people that's already done? You know, and it's like for feedback, it's like, did you like it? Like, you're not going like, come watch my hour and get.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
What's up? Yep. All good. It's going down.
Chilling. How you doing?
All right.
Oh, what's going down?
Bad.
It's cool.
Yeah, I went out to Elmer's. Rachel's brother was in town because he was having a some people out to look at some of the some of Claude's stuff to see, you know, kind of get it appraised and crap. I didn't know that the guy Claude had a. I'm getting a lot of echo, by the way. I don't know.
Shit. Second.
Now let's see. It might have just stopped.
Go ahead.
Check. Okay, that sounds good. Anyway, Claude collected quote unquote coins, but a lot of them were like things that you buy on TV that they make it sound like they're going to be valuable, and it's total horseshit. They're just worth
like scam
whatever
coins.
The denomination is. Yeah.
The old school version of cryptocurrency.
Like mint. Not cryptocurrency.
No, I know, but like there was cryptocurrency didn't exist back then. It was that times version.
Yeah. They have the old people's version.
Yeah, money that's not worth anything.
Yeah, money that's worth less than you paid for it. Anyway, so a lot of it was just that and junk. He had some valuable stuff though, so I guess we sold $1,000.
Oh, nice.
Actual valuable stuff.
That's cool.
Anyway, I was out there doing that, and that took up a big chunk of the day. I went to the dentist and found out I have to get a couple of my silver fillings replaced. That's okay.
That'd be fun though. Get some drugs.
Yeah. I just want all the drugs.
Yeah, just give me drugs. Take whatever you want. Take all the teeth. Don't care. Just give me drugs. As long as once I'm off the drugs, like there's teeth are replaced with at least something. Have at it, Doc. So
I can't remember the last time I had a filling.
I can't remember the last time I was. I should go.
You still there?
Yeah. I was just saying I can't. You can't remember the last time you got a filling. I can't remember the last time I've been to a fucking dentist.
Oh, okay.
It's
a sign you may need to go.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't have any pain. I'm gonna knock on some wood. Never felt the need. Oh God. All right. So, I'm actually still have channel. I gotta get some hip fires. I finished all my pistols on for the dark spine camo. I don't know if you can see the dark spine camo currently rocking. So what is this? Cypher 09. And my super sweet foot soldier skin. Looking really good. There. I still got you.
Yeah. I'm looking for it, but you're kind of out of frame, so I can't see the gun. Keeps on focusing on me. Oh, okay, I see a little bit here. Purple.
Yeah, it kind of moves down the.
Or is that just the light?
There's a light that moves down.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's the dark spine camo.
Anyway.
Pretty good. Pretty good band name. I'm sure it's already taken.
Well, I don't know actually.
Dark spine.
Anywho, I've got some hip fires I got to get still. So if I can go into whatever you want.
Yeah, just hit it up.
Good. Yeah, I finished the dark spine camo on my ARs and my pistols. Just finished my pistols. Moving on to melees. Finish those. Actually, I'm gonna use SMG. Smash. The hip. I don't, but I kind of want to do my last because I'll probably.
I got a pistol challenge tonight. I got to do 25 kills.
25 pistols, just regular pistol kills, no headshots or anything.
Yes. I have to double check though.
I get 50.
Yep.
Yes,
Pistol eliminations.
It's easy. Takes you at least a couple games.
Yeah.
Work was work today. Not much going on. Anna called out. Sicker. Yeah. Friday tomorrow. Best day of the week. Things couldn't be any better. Literally, the greatest it could possibly be.
What's the greatest it could possibly be?
Just everything. Just life. It's just so fantastic.
Oh yeah. Well, living in the simulation is great, isn't it?
So I'm always kind of like looking out for like right-wing political organizing on campus. And there was a there's a table over by at Student Center East. It was like Students for Liberty or some shit, you know. And I was like, well, obviously like a right-wing group. And they had a sign that said, "Print guns, not money."
Oh,
which is insane to say, right? Yeah. So I just went up to him like, yeah, what's that about? What do you mean? And he tried to start explaining, like, well, see, when you print the money and the value, blah blah blah. And I was kind of like, what? Do you want people to shoot each other? Is that what you want? He was like, no. And I was like, no, I think you do. But you fuck off. And I walked away.
Nice.
No, I think you do want people to shoot each other. Why else would you want people to print guns? Stupid fuck. Fucking asshole. If I see you again on campus, you know, honestly, like, my general strat, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for it, but, like, it'll be worth it. I'm not gonna assault anyone. But, like, if I see, like, either, like, a group like that, or, like, Turning Point USA, they've got some kind of table with literature or flyers on the table, sitting there, I'm gonna go to the Dunkin', I'm gonna buy an iced coffee, I'm gonna walk up to the table and dump that shit on the fucking table. And be like, get the fuck off this campus. Literally stand against everything this university stands for. You don't want public education to exist. Fuck you, get off campus. Right-wing fucking Nazi cunts. They just, whatever, man. People don't stand up to these assholes. They think that like liberals and leftists are like weak, but no, they're just polite. But I'm done with that shit. These guys are all they're fucking. I'm not positive, but I'm fairly sure that they are just raging pussies, and will just fucking walk away with the tail between their legs if I say.
Yeah, kind of the. If you push them, they'll probably fold pretty quick.
Yeah.
They probably just, you know,
Most people do.
Yeah, right. They assume that liberals are weak or whatever, and yeah.
You know what that's called? Projection.
Dude! Muscles have the hard point.
And if I actually really press my, they're just like, whatever, man. Like, I don't even know if I care if like they go complain to someone like, we're being harassed by. I'm like, fuck you, you're a fascist. I don't give a fuck. You deserve harassment. You deserve worse than harassment. If I didn't think I'd get arrested, I would beat you with cricket bats. Like Casey Jones and the Ninja Turtles. Fires. Oh, I might have forgotten, but I've been getting
secure. Payback stings like a mother, huh? What's the haps? Lead guard.
These Ninja Turtle vocal clips are mid. I killed someone and my turtle was like, what's the haps?
What's the haps?
What's the haps? It's like you just murdered someone. I guess that's the haps, bro.
That's the haps.
It's pretty cold-blooded, man.
All he cares about is pizza, man.
Bunch of shit. And that's what happens when you get in between a Ninja Turtle and his pizza. Get mowed down with a submachine gun.
Boy, I am having a shit game. Wow.
I'm literally on the bottom.
Fucking
No, you're on the bottom. We are both on the bottom. Team
I'm
bottom
on the
2, baby. It's the algorithm. It's the game. It's Activision. They're fucking us. They're manipulating us.
I'm on pistol, so it's,
yeah, and they're making our aim assist weaker, so we lose. And they're slowing down our characters.
That it?
And they're making our shots weaker.
Why am I shooting at? Thanks for the excuse.
Yeah, they're lowering the damage of our bullets, and it's dog shit. We should be team top 2. We're always team top 2, and when we're not, because Activision is cheating.
Incoming.
I'll die in hell. Because no one's gonna call me out.
Watch it.
I do want to play the Indiana Jones game. Oh, I hear it's really good.
Hardpoint locked down.
It's on Game Pass. It's an Xbox exclusive. I feel like it.
Hardpoint active.
Irresponsible not to play it.
Hardpoint.
I think the only real reason to want to play it though is because like the sounds of the punches, like, just like the movie, like when you punch someone's like big smack sound. That's like. That's all there's about it.
Is it already out?
Oh yeah, it's been out for a bit, and it's like it's a whole original story too. Like it's not based on any of these or anything. Like I think it takes place like it takes place during like between I think Raiders and Temple of Doom. I think, but it's definitely still during World War II because you actually are in Italy during fascist Italy.
Hardpoint locked down.
Which Indiana Jones has not fought. Another reason to play it.
I'll have to check it out on like YouTube. Check the video
Yeah, it's first person. But I haven't seen any gunplay or whipping or anything, and there might be like puzzles. It's like it's an Indiana Jones. I don't know. I honestly haven't seen a whole lot of footage. But when I heard that the punches that I was kind of sold. I don't care anymore.
Hostiles have the hard point.
Sure, there's going to be some snakes somewhere.
Why have to be snakes?
Walking a thin line, asshole.
There's a lot of games that I want to play though, and the 3 words stand in my way. All of Duty. I'm addicted.
Keep cool.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Incoming lethal.
Got the meat cleaver out.
Enemy RCXD detected. Finish line's in sight. Don't let up.
So Call of Duty finally admitted that they were using AI, generative AI for this job. Specifically citing that stupid Santa Claus fucking.
Oh, with the finger.
Yeah. Like, yeah, we've been using generative AI.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to deny that.
Scumbag.
Are they gonna change?
I
or
hope
they...
so. I don't know. I didn't read. I just kind of got a headline. But I goddamn hope so. I hope generative AI just dies in general. Like it's all of it sucks. Whether it's used for video, art, music, whatever. It's all dog shit. And it should just go. The market. I mean, goddamn it, capitalism. Let the market know this crap, dog shit, and shitty.
Yeah, I mean, artists are the most exploited, like, worker on the planet.
At this point, sure. I mean, but it's just like it's just where I mean, this is late stage capitalism, man. When they don't need artists anymore, it's like we don't need a system that doesn't want artists. Making art is part of the human condition. Like that's why it's kind of what makes us human. Kind of what separates us from all other living beings is our abstract thought, and, like symbolism and meaning and feeling. And if the capitalist rich flappy neck suits want to take that away, we're done. We're done. Then you're officially anti-human. Like you care about making money more about the human condition, more than human nature. They want to convince us that capitalism is human nature, that everyone's cutthroat, selfish. And then they're going to be like, well, we don't need artists. No one wants to make art.
If nobody goes to out to see a bunch of like, let's go watch a pile of money on a stage.
Yeah, really there to see, right?
Ooh, that's fun.
But like people, they literally were trying to make an argument that like making music's hard. It takes a lot of time to learn an instrument. We can just great. Are you insane? You know that people do that because they enjoy it, right? Like it's hard, but hard doesn't mean unenjoyable. People do hard shit and enjoy it because of the outcome. It's so insane. It's dog shit. I'm done with these flappy neck bastards. They have no idea. It's done. Capitalism and human expression are no longer compatible. And one of the others got to go. And I'm rooting for capitalism.
Not this time, bitch. Our victim.
I stayed on the bottom.
Did we? Hey, team bottom 2, baby. At least we still won. Yeah, we were getting beaten up a bit, but you know what? It's okay.
Jesus.
I'm glad.
Oh, wow.
I'm. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you. All right, hey, I'm gonna run and use the bathroom super quick. Be right back. If the game starts, go ahead. I'll just jump in, but I'm just gonna let it ride. Be back.
All right.
We got the lead. Now hold it.
Hostile removed.
Okay, I'm back.
Overdrive.
How we doing? Oh, we're waiting.
I didn't watch the internet today, but I saw that they're tackling the gold card visa.
Oh, God,
your new path to citizenship.
Oh yeah, they've been putting out a lot of thick episodes lately, man. It is hard to keep up, but I'm trying my best.
I can't imagine. Yeah, those guys are heroic in their.
That's why I want to.
I mean, God, they're swimming in the fucking politics. Like,
can't be
so deep in it.
Yeah, dude.
Can't be
And
good
things
for your
are
brain,
like just
right?
so shitty right now. And these guys have like, you know, these guys are progressive and hate what's going on and have to just like just wade in it constantly. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But whatever. I'm trying to suffer with them, man. You know, I'm trying to keep up. This is if we don't suffer through this, we will lose. Failure's not. Fascist.
It's just so goddamn stupid. You know, it's like I can't believe that any of these fucking stupid ideas are getting any traction at all. It all should just be like immediately just fucking thrown out the window. It's like, what the fuck are you saying? You're crazy talking over here.
I mean, what I'm worried about, I mean, yeah, obviously, like, the economic interests of people like Trump and, like, Musk and stuff are, like, clashing with, like, it's like the you know, the supposed working class support that they've garnered over the last few years, you know, like, basically Republicans pretending that they represent working class people when the economic interests of people like Musk and like the majority of the base, Trump, are just completely contradictory and irreconcilable. There's already been many examples of it, like with the HP1 visa situation, with the him just throwing jobs away and people like, yo, relax with that, because he's coming from a completely different perspective. Like the bosses, the rich people, they're like, put people out of work is more money for me. Less government programs is more money for me.
Yeah.
And more money for me is better for everyone because theoretically that's going to make jobs. But that's a lie. That's not even true anymore. We found that out after the pandemic. after when companies were making record profits and they just laid off so many fucking people. Like in the midst of record profits, dude. It shouldn't be legal, man. Really should. It's because it's like, or it's just so like rich people can just make more. It's mine now. We don't have to pay anymore. It's mine. It's gross. It shouldn't. Yeah. It should be.
Yeah.
But the worst case scenario is that they're like, all right, they kind of just like they concede on economic issues, but then they really kind of go whole hog. They basically go like final solution, like territory, you know? It's like, well, then we're just gonna have to take out the immigrants, the queers, the communists.
Party's here. 86 fat.
Women need to be,
Rachel,
you know, their
told me
rights need to be completely crushed. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying? Rachel was saying?
Die. Son of a bitch. She read something. Said, basically, you know, like trans operations were causing a lot of our economic problems.
That's such dog shit. That's insane to say.
Dude, I know. It was like, what? I mean, it's so insane to say something like that. Like,
yeah. I mean,
it's just, can you say something worse? I mean, like, it's patently untrue. It's discriminatory. It's disgusting. It's not, I mean, it's like a child would know that that can't be accurate.
Yeah.
Like, and you're the president saying this irresponsible crap?
Yeah, I just hope it catches up with them, but I just have my doubts. I'm more scared than anything still. I mean, unless it's just like full on, unless like people like Elon Musk and like these economic interests like really dig their fucking heels in, and don't concede, then yeah, it's bound to fail. Like they'll be divided and split, and they'll lose people to the left. Economic interests always win.
It's gonna hurt. This shit's gonna hurt everybody. Tariffs, and it's like there's no fucking winning here.
I mean, that was the thing about like the messaging during the Kamala campaign, when they're kind of like people and eggs. That's silly. It's kind of like, is it? Like I mean, eggs is just one of them. We're talking about food in general. You know what I mean? It's like food's expensive, and that's a real issue. Like money, like you know, it's a finite resource for the majority of people, and the price of things is incredibly important.
You've never tangled with a turtle before.
And like if liberals are kind of coming off as like making fun of people, like, oh, you know,
Enemy field upgrade.
you're paying too much for eggs. Well, you know, it sucks to be you. It's kind of it's just one of many things, and it was just a bad strat. Like liberals and the Democrats are pretty much just trying to convince that, yo, everything's fine. The numbers, everything's fine. Look how much money we give to NAFTA. I mean, not NAFTA. I mean NATO. You like that, right, America? So no one gives a shit. People just care about their own bread and butter, you know? Not this high idea that like, oh well, this is going to, you know, spread our interests and will ultimately lead to, you know, it's people don't buy it because bullshit.
Thanks for the work. UAV overflight terminated.
Let's see what happens. I just can't believe that like we're just into it. Like how long are we into the Trump presidency? We have 4 years of this, dude. I don't know if I can make it.
Dude, I know. It's too much stupid. That's
their strategy,
man.
man.
This stupid.
That's what they want to do, and we just got to put up with it.
Fuck. And how about Elon Musk just going in there and like basically, you know, damaging or destroying businesses that he directly competes with? So that's not a conflict of interest. How is it legal? Like, I mean, any kind of contract you do with the government it'd be like you'd have 3 bidders, and you'd vet them and pick the best one that's the best for the country, and like you'd never have like the like a direct competitor. be the guy who determines.
It's corruption.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go with. Yeah, it's absolute.
It's like the definition of corruption. But our situation is basically like our president is letting this guy do whatever the fuck he wants. And like the Supreme Court basically says the president can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. So that's where we're at. And he's just doing shit. And there's like a constitutional crisis because he's directly, challenging the powers of Congress. The whole, you guys heard it a million times at this point, the whole power of the purse. Congress has the power of the purse. Yeah, they do. They control the money. Like the executive is exactly what it is. They're supposed to execute the law, which is made by Congress and interpreted by the courts, by the judiciary. It's the balance of power. That's America. That's the foundation of liberal democracy, and really doing everything they can to just fuck it, destroy it. And it's, you know what, I mean, it's...
Crimson's falling back. Hell of a show today, Black Ops.
Don't sweat it.
I don't know what the hell is gonna happen, man. Liberal democracy can be fucking, it could be... Here we go! Woo!
Hey, stab.
Let's go!
Oh,
you're rocking the tent.
Yeah, there was 2. Watch these guys were total campers back here. I came to get them. Look, there's one more.
You see, yeah.
Look at this guy.
He caught his outline there for a second. This is a cool game mode, man. This overdrive where you can kind of do team top 3.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Yeah, that's so funny. Oh, what do you got going on tonight?
Well, normally we watch a little TV, but Rachel had to put up her art show at the library for the kids that they do every year.
Oh, really?
And she's kind of tired. So, yeah. I'm probably gonna watch TV and have some wine and
sounds cool.
Finish my challenges first.
I got time for. I can rock with you. You don't. What do you gotta do?
Not much left. I just have to get 4 more lethal kills.
So,
kills with lethal equipment, I should say.
1 more kill.
What do you want, Skyline or dealership?
Ooh, Skyline.
What's Skyline?
It's the one that's
is that
the pool?
Fancy. Oh, okay.
One of those weird doors that kind of open and shut. I don't like those things upstairs where you can close off the floor.
Is this a new map?
No, this is
Oh, the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, this map. Okay.
This map.
Cool. Okay. I'm looking at this image here, and it's
the pool with the stairway that goes up to that long hallway where there's the fights always happen.
Yeah.
I wish I would have dropped another map.
Secure the objective. Securing Alpha.
You need maps really bad in this game.
Cover me. Taking the objective. Controlling Bravo.
Why?
Zone Alpha captured.
They're not hitting.
We're winning.
I guess I remember the Cold War maps. Everyone that would come.
Taking C. Bravo zone secure.
I have a really, really bad feeling that like these maps are AI, and that's why they're not so good.
Losing B. Securing Charlie.
I hope that died soon.
We lost B. Hey, finger on the
Yeah, I could see the temptation, especially in video game making. Like it's just like it's too much trouble to sit here and design a building. Why don't we just let the computer design it? Yeah, okay.
Well, for 2 reasons.
They're not gonna know.
I mean, I got 3 reasons why. Because first, the computer doesn't know what's good. The computer doesn't have taste. The computer doesn't have creativity. It's like an amalgamation of what everyone did and then try to attempt to recreate that. That's it.
We're losing Charlie.
Another reason why is because artists like to do that shit. That's the reason why they exist. And if you have computers do their job, then they no longer have a reason to exist.
Losing Bravo.
I would argue artists have to exist. Because art is just a part of being a person, a part of having abstract thought.
Enemy was sent. Capturing the objective.
Trying to take that away is
triple
it's
kill.
just doomed. Just a doomed.
Sorry, buddy.
Losing B.
Because it's dog shit.
Taking A.
It's a good point, yeah.
Crimson 1 taking the objective.
No, I was gonna say, if you, let's say, you have AI create a song, and then you perform that song, right? Or record that song, and then people buy that song. Okay, then someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, man, I really love that song you wrote." And then now you might admit it, you might not, but either way that you didn't make that song. You might have recognized that it's a good song or the parts of it were good and you used those and whatever, but it's like at the end of the day, you didn't write the fucking song, and when someone's giving you a compliment, how the fuck are you gonna feel good about that? I couldn't. There's no way I could feel good about that. I'd feel just like such a fraud.
I mean, for sure, but I would be shocked.
I still got
you. Yeah, you got me. Can you hear me? Hello?
Beginning capture.
Can you hear me? Oh, wait. Oh, hey. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
I lost you.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted.
Did you hear anything I was saying?
Yeah, I was hearing you. No, how could people be proud or not be completely embarrassed?
Right. How could you feel good about it?
I would be shocked if anyone was if someone produced a piece of art that was AI generated, and someone was like, "Wow, that's really good." If that, I would be shocked. Because I'm fairly convinced that it's all shit. None of it's good. None of it's passing the test.
Bravo underway. Watchdog Hilo incoming on your location.
Even the best of it, even the best of AI generated anything, even words, people have chat GPT write me this thing. Even that writing is dog shit, bro. It's crap.
True. May not always be that way though.
But it's gonna. I don't know, man. I mean, if we can create when we thought of AI back in say the 90s, right? Were we thinking of technology that's just gonna make art and just do shit and we don't even have to think about stuff anymore? I don't think we were thinking either autonomous job doers doing stuff that we don't want to do, or this Skynet, supermind,
tedious shit.
Yeah, either that or a supercomputer that's basically that we should basically be afraid of because it's gonna it's gonna make decisions outside of our control. That's what the idea of AI was for a long time. This whole idea that we're gonna use AI to make stuff people want to make never occurred to me, and it's a bad idea.
Yeah, right.
It's shit. It's dog shit. It's not good, and but it's being pushed. And if it does get any better, the only reason why it's gonna get better is because rich assholes are putting more work into the technology to make it better, just to fuck artists over even more.
Securing all zones.
It should be stopped. Or just heavily regulated.
It's like nothing gives me more pleasure than baking cake. Hey, here's a computer that'll bake the cake for you.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like, but the thing is, I like making the cake. It's like I don't like having something else make the cake. It's like, why don't I just pay someone to make me the cake and be like, I made this cake? It's dumb. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's driving me insane, dude. Everything's just so stupid. It's unforgivably stupid. Oh shit! Like humanity should be ashamed. The level of just derp.
This guy.
And anyone who uses, I will
laying there like he's dead.
I mean, I only try to use ChatGPT once, and it was like, cause I was trying to get it to like do this like an RPG game. Like a text-only, like game, and to interact with it like in a Warhammer kind of setting, and it sucked.
Securing C.
It sucked. Like they kept on like they couldn't follow the plot. They kept like fucking shit up, and I would remind the chat. It's like the Chat GPT, like, no, this is, you said this before. They're like, oh well, I'm sorry. It's dog shit. It's horrible. It's just.
Losing B.
If we can use AI to do stuff like code better, to create better programming, to figure out like fusion energy and shit like that, cool. We don't need AI to make photos. We can make photos. We can do that already, and we enjoy doing it. We don't need AI to do that shit. It should stop. We don't need AI to make songs. Why? People make songs. And we enjoy making songs. We don't need fucking computers making songs. It's stupid. Fuck these assholes. And anyone trying to convince anyone, are just talentless assholes with more money than they deserve.
LDBR incoming. Losing A. Hostile care package inbound. Enemy UAV inbound.
Am I still muted? I wish I was.
No, I can hear you.
Sorry.
Hostile counter UAV established above.
Destroyed your trophy system.
You ever shoot at somebody and like their back is turned to you and you're shooting them and they don't like turn around, they just keep on facing the other way? It's like, what are you doing? You're just like sitting there,
they
like, letting me shoot you.
In.
Okay. Yeah, they're like, maybe he'll go away.
We're losing Charlie.
Or maybe they just don't have time to react. No?
Oh,
or maybe they're trying to take someone out. They're kind of like, yeah, I'm about to die, but I want to take this guy out.
Oh shit, where is he? Come on, oh no, damn. And then he destroyed my trophies on top of it? That's insulting.
Losing B.
Are you done with the challenges? Are you working on those?
Enemy grenade.
I think I'm done with my, yeah, let me check. Oh, no, I'm not. I actually have one more challenge left. Thanks for bringing it up. I gotta get one more Semtex skill. Okay, who's the lucky winner? Who's the lucky winner?
Right in the kiss.
You. There we go. Look at that. Oh,
slap him.
Sweet. Yeah, I slapped him.
Easy.
This guy. There's a guy been sitting in this fucking corner over here. He's laying there like he's dead.
By where? By A?
I'm gonna point it up. No. I'll point it out. I gotta go over where it's at. Ooh, fuck this guy. Just kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all. Oh, triple kill. Oh. What? These guys were hammered. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to show you.
I had an awful game. Holy fuck, how did I have such a bad game? You had a damn well good game. I had an embarrassing game. I went 0.35 KD. You went almost 1.5. I should just I don't know. quit forever.
Absolutely. You're done.
Never. It's the algorithms.
I got off the pistol and then yeah.
What was it?
Did I do my
I
challenge?
was running around.
Yeah.
I was trying to do this, so it was a little bit tough in this match.
Yeah, that's a rough.
And plus, like, he was cheating, obviously.
Yeah.
And like the game, Activision wanted me to lose.
Right.
And like it's
more than obvious.
Oh, good. All right. I'm sorry. Well, hey, yeah, I'm probably gonna get off. I'm gonna crash here. All
right.
Just, what's tomorrow's Friday? Big chillin'. Hear me on.
All right. Yeah, it should be. Cool. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, have a great evening.
Okay.
See.
Good night.
And you, my friends, I love you.